Your neighbors found out? No, it's more like... I honestly don't know what that was, or like how it even happened. But like this one thing I'm just really curious about. So I didn't know what that was, right? So I tried to figure out what that was by myself, but I couldn't. So I kind of decided to ask you guys like about it because I was like, what the hell? Konnichiwa 下ネタかと思った。So, who did you expose yourself to? So the thing about it is like here. There's like a so it was like yesterday, right? I was playing Apex Legends with a friend of mine, and so I was just casually screaming like, "Ah, vagina!" Ah! in the game, because that's kind of what I do, right? So I queued up with a friend of mine, and yeah, so Apex Legends is like where you just play with like two other people, so including you, like there will be three people, right? You, other two people. So I just usually turn on my mic and go like, ah, vagina, penis. That's what I do. So I was like doing that, right? And this guy suddenly just went like, hi Sora. So I was like, what the hell? Like, how did he know like it's me? But I was like, oh, I mean, my name in the game is like literally Sora the Japanese. So I was like, yeah. And then I got curious about something. Can I actually find my name on the internet? As in like not my name as in like my real name, but like my Apex Legends name on the internet, why not? So I went to my Wikitubia page. Do you guys know what that is, by the way? Wikitubia? Okay, yeah, you guys know what that is, right? So, there's like this one interesting. I think it's actually kind of. This is actually kind of accurate, but like there are a lot of like non-accurate info there. So let me kind of talk about it too. So this is my wiki page, right? Maybe I should make it like this. What the? And thank you, one man army 2 electric boogaloo. Hey Sora, I recently graduated from army combat engineer training. I'm at my first duty station in Hawaii. Did some PD with the Green Beret Recreators TM. I don't know what you mean by that, but thank you so much for the donation. Thank you so much for that. So here, ready? And there's like some info here, right? Blah 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 blah. And here, he's the voice actor of DJ Vinyl in Lumina's visual novel, Gacha Memories. What is this? Do you guys know what Gacha Memories even is? I was like, I don't know what this is. No. Your secret job. I was like, what is this? I think it's a game. I mean, it's obviously a game, probably, but it's just like it's a visual novel, right? Gacha Memories is a game that is before World. I heard none of you. What do you mean? So, DJ Vinyl. Gacha Memories. So, the thing about it is like I do a lot of like voice acting and stuff, right? So like there are a lot of like things I've done without me knowing about it. So this is normal. I was like, oh, it could be one of those things like where I did voiceovers for it without me knowing. But in this case, I legitimately have no. How do I even like explain this? Like I just don't even remember anything about this like at all. As a gacha player before, あ、それなんか口先女とかやつですよね。あれはなんか外人の人がGoogle 翻訳ぶち込んだやつを僕がやったってやつですね。だからいろいろいじられました。I played World, but not Memories. When the heck did my bro get into gacha before I knew him? That too. But so the thing about it is like here. Gacha Memories. What is this? So it really looks like I did voiceovers for some weeby stuff. Like one of the weebiest stuff ever. What is this even? And who's... Gacha Memories is a romance visual novel that is available on iOS. Who's DJ? By the way, like, who wrote this? Like, how are you so sure like it's me? Search the voice actors. Voice actors. What? When did I do it? When? What? When did I do it though, actually? No, it doesn't mean like I was drunk or anything. Like it just actually makes no sense. YouTube search the DJ. I did it yesterday, but I couldn't find any lines I did on YouTube. 同名義。基本YouTube 上ではソラザトロールで言ってて、他のところではソラザジャパニーズで言ってるんですよ。なんでかっていうと、トロールって入れちゃうと、ビジネス上だと問題ありまくりなんですよね。One Man Army, thank you. PT is short for physical training and the Green Berets. Berets. The T is silent. Are us Army Special Forces. Thank you so much for the donation. I don't know what you mean by that, but thank you so much for letting me know about that. Thank you so much. Listen to his voice and find out if it was you. But like, so the thing about it is like I searched it on YouTube myself like yesterday, right? I couldn't find it. Like DJ Vinyl, right? Gacha Memories. And so this character, I think it's like a character, right? But like the character isn't voiced at all, like in those videos. Some like, how do I even figure out if it's me or not? Probably a misunderstanding. It's not usually a misunderstanding because like they are so sure it's me, right? Which means I probably got hired by them, and they probably asked me like, do you want a credit for it? And I'm like, yeah, you can, or something. But still see if it sounds like you or not. But look, so again, like I searched it myself, right? And I couldn't really find any clips of like any videos like that actually has like my voices in them. So if you guys can find like any videos like that have my voice in them, let me know. And yeah, I can't until voice actor is engaged by a company, then outsources to you and gets caught. The thing about it is like again, so like, alright, so let me just talk about like the behind the scenes of like being a voice actor basically. So if you are a voice actor, you just do voices for like a lot of things, right? You never keep track of like what you've been doing. That's kind of one thing, at least in my life. That's just how it's been, right? So I don't really ask them like what they'll use my voices for, because I get offers from like a lot of different clients, right? And like asking them itself is kind of like a waste of time, so I don't even ask them that much. You might have to have a fan from comments play and record the voice so you can hear it. Maybe I can do that. I found the video and it is definitely you. You forgot about it. Can you tell me which one it is though? Can you tell me like which one it is? Which one it? Whoa, it just. So, I don't think you can send me the link without using the thing like Streamlabs. So, just tell me what video it's called, and let me just watch it and see like if it's really me or not. Cause I don't remember at all. Yeah, ID, yeah, that works too. Just tell me like what ID it is, like if you know how to get. Let me just hide everything, just in case if there's like any copyright issues. Ready? Give me a little bit. I'm checking something. I don't remember doing this though. I don't remember doing this. I don't even like want to share this. I don't even want to share this, right? Like it sounded actually super cringy. I was like, I don't remember doing this. Like when did I? This is like from back in 2019. Of course I don't remember. That's literally like how popular is this game, by the way? Is this game huge or something? 2019 was like pre-COVID. Who remembers that? Yeah. Play it. I'm not gonna play it. Why do you have to expose myself? It sounded familiar to me. A game for kids. It's most weeb game. Let's hear it. No, so back in 2009, this was like, so I started my career back in like 2000, was it 17? I forgot like when that was even. My sister plays it all day. How famous is this game? Okay, so see, it's quite popular, it seems. Is it really for kids? Oh, it's like one of those like a love romance simulation whatever thing. Dating sim. めっちゃダウンロードされてる. What the? No, like so. I kind of want to make like excuses here. Back then, when I was like 2019, right? I literally accepted like any offers back then. Like I would just go like, oh yeah, sure, why not? I'm gonna still like do it because I get money. That's kind of what I did before, right? Do you guys still like want to listen to it though? You were grinding, yeah, basically. So I was like level 0. I mean, I kind of knew like everybody was gonna freaking vote for yes. So let me just freaking talk about the backstory of this. Like I wouldn't. God damn! Now everybody's gonna think I'm a weeb. What the? Like I seriously didn't know till now. What the? So. Alright, so yeah, right? 金さんもらえるのは何でもそう。いや、本当にそうなんですけど、本当マジでそうで。So let me explain, like, why it even happened before watching it. Because, like, so 2019, right? 2019. This is when, like, my name was, like, I was basically a nobody out there. I mean, I'm still a nobody, but, like, what I mean is, like, nobody literally knew about me as a voice actor back then. Like, see? So, my channel kind of just grew back in August, like, last year. And at the same time, my name as a voice actor kind of just got bigger as well because my YouTube channel, right? So this is like way back. I had my channel basically, and let's see how cringy this is. So this is somebody else.
Oh, sorry to keep you waiting.
Oh my
I
god.
brought a beach ball for us to play with.
Oh my god.
No, I don't want to listen to this part. I feel like I'm gonna just take off my freaking things, right? My earphones, because I'm really curious what I even did. Okay, so again, let me just make excuses. This is way before my name was like known out there. I freaking accepted like every offer back then. Ready?
Whoa, you look amazing.
I don't know what I'm
in that
saying actually.
swimsuit. I feel sort of out of place with this outfit.
I don't know what I even sounded like. So, yeah, this is like Sorella True, like when Sorella True wasn't really Sorella True. Like this is when, yeah, I mean this was like my start basically. It was like the beginning of like my career basically, to explain it briefly. Ha ha ha! I know! Stop it, medical! Yeah, this is like, again, so back then, so the thing about it is like, why did they even like put it here then? What the? ワックスつけ出した感じ、本当に、いや、この時期は、マジでそう。まだ、I'm not gonna listen to. 音質クソ悪くなかった。これ多分、yeah, the sound quality is like probably bad because like this YouTuber, this uploader basically captured the screen but didn't capture the sound from like capture the sound internally. So maybe they just recorded it using another cam or something. And as thank you, that guy looks like your non-Dogu VR avatar. Maybe.
It's getting pretty late out. Do you think we should call it a day?
God damn. Like I just saw the lines and I'm like, I don't see a problem here. I know. Your accent is very thick in it. So like I just remember something like I thought I was supposed to sound like a Japanese guy like more than I usually do or something. I forget like what that was. I mean I get a lot of kinds of different offers, right? So I don't really remember everything. But I feel like that's what that was. Maybe. I don't really remember though. Let me just play this part too. And 5150 well thank you. The voice acting is really cringy and sounds unnatural. I think your other rules that we know you did a bit better job. Yeah, I mean, again, so this is like when yeah, but I don't really want to watch this part.
Sorry.
Alright, let's just freaking forget about this thing. So to explain it quickly, back then, yes, I was an English teacher. Like I was teaching English, and at the same time, I did this and that and like other stuff. So back in 2019, like I was a nobody, and yeah. Why 12? That's a great question. And this is like from abroad in Japan, right? And I think everybody likes him, including myself. Some people call me Chris Broad simp. And he usually does like some amazing stuff on YouTube. I'm just really curious like what he says about how to learn Japanese here.
think the best thing about learning Japanese, outside of everyday communication of course, is being able to appreciate the music. It's so cool to be able to listen to a song in Japanese and allow the lyrics to resonate.
Topic change. I know, like, so I generally want to avoid talking about my business related stuff, especially my voice acting related stuff, because it's usually just full of cringe. And back then I was like freaking desperate. I was desperate. Like, I would literally do hentai. I mean, actually did for some. I was that desperate. I wouldn't do like any of them anymore. But yeah, so that's basically what we call kurorekishi. That's kurorekishi, actually. That's kind of embarrassing.
With you on an emotional level. That in itself is as good a reason as any to learn the language. So when you switch on the TV to the music channel, you can not only enjoy the music, but feel
Give us the link? No.
a real sense of achievement as well.
Warrior Girls. Alright, so I think I talked about this before though. So you know like how there was this one game called Cyberpunk, right? Cyberpunk. And so there was like this one Japanese guy in the game. And what was his name? Like Tanaka? No, it's not Tanaka. You guys know what I'm talking about though? Like that Japanese guy in Cyberpunk. And Takamura? Yeah, Takemura, something like that. Yeah, something like that. So, これね、本人からしたらめっちゃ恥ずかしいのこれ。So basically, I think it's I still don't know if it's a company or like just an individual, but they asked me to sound like Takamura or Takemura and whatever, and they wanted to basically like make a hentai of it. So they wanted me to moan, they wanted me to go like, yeah, you dirty little girl, you like if I do it. And I was like, what? I don't know what I'm doing, but I get some good money for this, so why not? And back then, like, yeah. Was it? Did the game come out like in 2020? If that's what that was, then I actually did it after 2020. Yes, I did it, yeah. And I'm gonna stop talking about it. I'm sorry. So, but yeah, what I'm trying to say here is like so I had this one time when my name was like not known like at all, right? So I was kind of desperate to, you know, get some trust from people, and I was desperate to be better at voice acting. So I did everything. And thank you 5150 Hold. Your voice acting name isn't really a secret anymore. It's never a secret. It's never a secret. I never hid it. But the thing about it was like I was desperate to get my name to be just out there. So I would literally do everything. So if people find out, is it really called exposing yourself? The thing about it is like I just didn't know what that was. Like, I didn't know what DJ Vinyl even was, and I just figured out what that was, and I was like, okay. But yeah. Copyright.
Hello and welcome to Ask a
Speaking of this, by the way, did you guys try VR chat? 流行りの曲の歌詞意味わからないことでポンポンとかわけわかんないですもんね。So like, I heard some people tried VR chat. Does it differ? Are you here though? Because I actually saw you talking about it on pre-chat. Never used the VR chat. My nose might be bleeding. I don't know if you're here though, that's different. But I just saw you talking about VR chat and you were like, yeah, VR chat actually works. I talk to Japanese people. Okay. Oh. So, according to some people, like VR chat actually works. And you can even get to make friends there as well. So, it honestly took me 10 years to become fluent. Okay. And as thank you, Chris has red lip syndrome like Sora. I don't think he does.
Broad, the show in which I answer questions sent in by
アカウン
you,
ト
the
作っ
viewer,
たけどまだや
whilst
ってない。
propping up my
日
table
本人に
with
もおすすめっすよ
cardboard
俺。
due to uneven flooring. The topic of this video is learning Japanese. Most of the questions will be about Japanese, with a few random ones thrown in, including comment of the week and most annoying comment of the week. Learning Japanese has been
ちょっと字幕邪魔だな。
a really big part of my life the past 3 years, and I hope in this video my many experiences and failures will help you on your journey to learning the language. So without further ado, let's dive in. What's the biggest problem with learning Japanese? Everything. But it's such a major undertaking that you need to become good in many different fields. My 3 biggest problems when I started learning were a lack of self-discipline and motivation, a horrific memory, working out where to begin.
India's asking for the link, please send. So one thing I kind of wanted to mention is like, for you guys though, you guys can get motivation from like freaking anime or like freaking from like VTubers, right? So it's not a problem for you guys, right? And I'm not trying to make fun of you guys or anything. I'm actually being serious about this. Do you play Genshin? No. From Undertale. Japanese music, yeah. So I don't know like if it's actually a problem for people or not, because like a lot of people here watch either like anime, VTubers, whatever, so you can get motivation from like things quite easily, right? I mean, there might be some people like who don't like any of them, but what I'm saying here is like, is it really a problem for a lot of people?
Working out where to begin. I more or less overcame the first one by reading some philosophy books, and every day when I walked to and from school I would listen to an audio tape on self-discipline, and I think over a period of weeks and months that had an effect. It was a bit weird, it felt like I was brainwashing myself.
You will work hard. You will work really, really hard.
As for my memory, I bought a few good books on memorisation techniques, my favourite of which I put in the description box below. And thirdly, fortunately, I had lots of friends in Japan who were 1 step or 2 steps ahead of me, who gave me lots of invaluable advice, particularly my anonymous friend, Canadian guy. To summarise though, I find the most difficult aspect...
So... I really want you guys to just like look for the video I'm gonna upload to the tomorrow, but I kind of talked about this recently too. But if people make fun of like Americans or like Canadians saying stuff like this, people usually laugh at it, right? But if people make fun of Japanese people and if they even put sushi here, people usually get so mad about it and they would get offended for Japanese people instead.
Though, I find the most difficult
Which I think is freaking hilarious. So 日本語のアドバイスはまあそうっすね。
Personal flaws. You have to be very self-critical and work out where you're going wrong. But that's a really great skill to have.
Yeah, I mean it's actually a thing though. Like, so it's really hilarious. Like, but just look forward to the video tomorrow. Like, I literally just did a video about it. And yeah, I've seen so many people getting offended for Japanese people. Like, they defend Japanese people, right? When nothing is even happening, which I think is quite interesting. But yeah.
Quote my favourite Japanese English textbook. Are you aware of your own defect? Ask yourself that very question. What were some of the words you found coming up in conversation most often?
I think I showed you guys like a lot of pictures and stuff on my channel before, but like what you just saw is actually a thing on Japanese textbooks. Like, you see a lot of interesting phrases and stuff here. So this sounds quite wrong, but this is from a textbook for like high schoolers here, right? And you literally learn like how to say she wants many friends to play with. So this is what you learn as an 18-year-old, like learning English here. So yeah, you can now know like how to say, yeah, I want friends to play with. So yeah, like if you feel like it, then just like say it to some like random, you know, English speaking people, right? That's just how it works in Japan. Yeah, so it's kind of how it is, and again, it's considered yeah, nice here. And what else? I actually took so many pictures of like interesting things here in Japan, and I think I deleted like a lot of them already. I did, yes, I did. I deleted like a lot of them. God damn it. And Nail Touchberry, blah blah sushi. Thank you so much for the donation. Yeah, you get cancelled for saying that. Like, people will be offended for Japanese people, so that they will be like, "Don't insult Japan," and we are usually fine with it. But like, yeah, they get offended for Japanese people instead. So, like. So the thing about it is like, you know how people say something like, I hate weebs because weebs disrespect Japanese culture and they are being disgraceful and it's not acceptable. And so the thing about it is like, we never thought weebs were disrespectful though. I actually want to ask Japanese people here. 今日本人の人いたらちょっと聞きたいんですけど、ウィーブスっているじゃないですか、海外のニオタ。あれってあの人たちって無礼だと思ったことあります？ I'm really curious about that. もっと言って、いやもうまあそれもあるけど。多分ないんじゃないかな、日本人の人って。ないです。いや、see? They're like, no, I've never thought they were rude. See? ない。いや、本当にない。ほら、see? Like, that's just kinda. そう。本当そうなんだよ。でもなんか知んないけどね、勝手になんかウィーブスたちはそう本当そうなの本当に。That's exactly what I've been thinking about. They're like, yeah, I mean, I never thought weebs were rude, but yeah, so yeah, like if you look for some comments saying something like weebs are being disrespectful, so they should stop offending Japanese people like that, thinking Japan just all about anime. Like, we don't really care about it. Like, we are fine with people thinking like that. So, but you know, people just kind of. いや、本当にそう日本そう逆にいいそう yeah, like it's actually a good thing. It's actually flattering for us. Like, it's something like we don't mind. We don't mind getting that kind of attention.
Often in Japanese that you hadn't been taught. So,
like, what's more problematic is like when other people get offended for us saying something is rude towards like weeps. I don't know, like I feel like that's more problematic though. Are there the opposite of weeps in Japan? Yeah, like America kabure is like what we call them. America kabure. People who want to be Americans. そうね、本当にそれ。I can actually just teach you guys like how to say it. アメリカかぶれとか海外かぶれって言い方もするかな。So, アメリカかぶれ、海外かぶれ。Let me explain like what that is. So, アメリカ like you guys know what America is, right? Obviously. アメリカかぶれ is like wannabe. And 海外 is like foreign. かぶれ is like wannabe. So アメリカかぶれ American wannabe. 海外かぶれ foreign wannabe, like foreigner wannabe. So this is how you say it, and I've seen like a lot of them. I've actually gotten some people like telling me that as well, saying like I'm an Americaかぶれ, even though like I've never really tried to be an American, but some people told me I'm an American wannabe, which I think is quite interesting, and I don't have any problems with it. If they think I'm an American wannabe, then yeah, why not? That's just interesting. Mostly weebs outside of Japan are being mistreated as delusional. Those inside Japan are like no. The thing about it is like we know what weebs are like outside of Japan though, because like again, all those people here on my channel already kind of know English, and probably they have like some friends outside of Japan as well, including myself. I mean, I literally went to the States before and I met some weebs there too, but I don't really think we get offended by those weebs. Like I don't really think that's the definition of like being rude to Japanese people. ポカホンタソンナとかそうっすね、よく言いますよね。Is this different from American history nerds? Kabure is wannabe basically, so that's how you say it. Like, so if you wanted to say Justin Bieber wannabe, Justin Bieber kabure. Like whatever kabure is. How do people inside Japan watch anime? I actually don't know. They probably just like watch anime on TV, or like they just watch Amazon Prime or like Netflix, maybe? Maybe. I'm not really sure.
Here's 4 casual interjections or phrases that are very common in Japan. Particularly the first 3 you hear in nearly every other sentence.
No,
but I've
don't
never
you
been
guys
taught them
usually laugh at the funny weeb foreigners? So, weebs are funny though, to even like start with. They are funny. They are funny. Like, so personally though, I've never really had any problems with like weebs. It's like so the thing about it is like you will probably understand why I say stuff like this, but you have to be Japanese to know like what it feels like to have weebs around you. It's kind of like you're a celebrity. So it's kind of like, you know how there are some girls like who just go like, oh my gosh, Justin Bieber, and you might think like they're cringe, right? But if you were Justin Bieber, then you might actually like the attention. Like, oh yeah, those girls might be cringy, but I'm Justin Bieber and I like this attention. It's kind of like that, basically. You might think those weebs are cringy and being delusional, but we are Japanese, so like they will be like, oh my gosh, real Japanese people. Yeah, kind of something like that. So you just have to be Japanese to know what it's like that to have weebs around you. It's never offensive to us. So it's always funny to see people getting offended for Japanese people and saying like,ニュースレポーターにお姉ちゃんって呼んでって言ったウィーブ面白かった。あれとか本当面白かったですよね。So like, there was like this one time before. Was it in Japan? I forgot. So, but there was like this one weeb, right? There was like this one weeb, and basically it's like he was getting interviewed and whatever. I forgot like what that was really. He was getting interviewed, and he was like speaking broken-ish Japanese, and this guy literally went like, so he said like this exact line to the interviewer, like, "Can you say Oni-chan to me?" To this girl interviewer, right? Is it rude, by the way? I'm curious. Is it rude? To ask a question like that to a girl? Is it rude? So that's why there's like this like I think it's like a cultural thing. I don't really know what this is. We didn't think that was weird. We thought it was hilarious as hell. We were like, yeah, this guy really likes anime. It's kind of like, you know how, so いや、ほんとそうなんですよ。マジで。そう、聞くだけならいいっていうか、別によくねっていうのはもう俺はの。So, like, from our perspectives, like, Japanese people, like, yeah, this guy's cringe and hilarious. Like, he really likes anime. And Poo Poo P, thank you so much for the donation. Do you fart? Yes, I do. But thank you so much for the donation. So, like, our reaction to that was like, yeah, this guy really likes anime. He's a weeb. Like, that was really it. We were just like, this guy is actually kind of cringy, but he's funny. Whatever, he likes anime. That's kind of great. So, it's not rude. It's just cringy. And he basically asked the lady to say Oni-chan to him because like he likes anime, right? So, our reaction was like this guy really likes anime, and at the same time, this guy really likes Japan. It's kind of honorable. Like that's just how it was for Japanese people. And Lexi, thank you so much for the donation. I don't know what his intentions were. So creepy. It was not creepy though. Like you can ask any Japanese people, and we thought that was hilarious as hell. Like again, yeah, he likes anime so much. It's kind of like, so this is a thing. You know how people. So let me ask you a different question. So there are some Japanese people who speak English like this, like, I don't speak English. I suck. You speak English? Is it rude to say stuff like that to any English-speaking people? If a Japanese guy says something like that to English-speaking people, is it rude? Tell me. Is it rude if a Japanese guy talks like that? How is that the same? Let me talk about it. It's actually kind of same. So, no, right? No, right? Yeah, no. but some Japanese people, it's rude because this guy literally knows zero English and still like went to whatever country it is and trying to speak the language without knowing how the language works, and some people think it's disrespectful. It's exactly the same thing. Like literally you wouldn't care, right? It's like, oh, this guy's like trying to speak English and English must be hard for him, so yeah, well, blah blah blah. It's just that. So it's the same thing. It's basically like when yeah, it's something like that. 日本の人でいますよね。なんかそんな喋り方するのって無礼じゃないですかみたいな言ってくる人たまにいますよね。10人に1人ぐらいか最近だと。最近は減ったかな。国際化進んでって。And that bad shoes, thank you so much for the donation. Is this the video of the weeb? I think maybe, yeah, maybe. Ah, yeah, this exactly. 出川イングリッシュ。そう、出川イングリッシュのことをすごい無礼って言ってる人がいて、こんな話し方で外人に話しかけるなって言ってる人いて、っていうのが自分の個人的な感想なんですよ。そう。
どちらからいらっしゃいました？
デンマークから。
デンマークから、
はい、
日本には何をしにいらっしゃったんですか？
まあ日本語の勉強ですね。
That's Akihabara too.
日本語の勉強。
はい。アニメと漫画はもっと読みたいから日本語も分かりたい。
So this guy is like the, so相手が OK な別にいいんだけど、だからそうこの他人がね勝手になんかダメージを受けるこの縮図って面白いなと思ってて。So he's a weeb, right? He's a weeb, right? He's a weeb, right? He's a weeb. Like this guy, what this guy's saying is a weeb. Like he acts like a weeb. He's in Akihabara, right? Ultimate weeb. Let's see what he says.
もっと分かりたい。
一番好きなアニメ。
He literally says like I like anime and I like manga. So I want to learn Japanese. You guys think it's cringy, but look at like this girl's like reaction.
たいから日本語も分かりたい。
See? The girl's like freaking smiling. The girl's like, oh yeah, that's awesome. Instead of like this is the reality, everybody. いや本当にぶっちゃけたこと言うと海外の人になんか下手な英語で話しかけるのは全然悪いことではないですし、もっとやった方がいいと思う。See? Ready?
読みたいから。
This is the reality,
アニ
everybody.
メと漫画はもっと読みたいから
Look at the girl's reaction. Ready?
日本語も
See? Like when this weeb freaking went like, I want to watch anime and I love manga, Attack on Titan, no. And she went like, really? That's the reality, people.
分かりたい。
She cannot smile, she's at work. Yeah, but that's the reality, everybody. That's the reality. What is the difference between Mininaji, Oishi, and Umai? I don't know what you mean, but thank you. And Georgia, thank you so much for the donation. Thank you for entertaining us. I'm actually not trying to entertain you guys, actually. I'm kind of trying to just, tell you guys some info about what it's really like to live in Japan. 海外の人にアニメが子供向けって思ってる人からっていうのも、いやなんか単純になんかそのアニメが好きっていうと無礼だと思ってる人が多いんですよ、なぜか。なんでみたいな。別によくねっていう。It's called acting. It's not acting. Like people are fine with like foreigners liking anime and manga. Like it's seriously a good thing. It's actually honorable because like people in Japan actually think like we are bad at things. We don't have like any entertaining stuff, right? But when you guys say something like, oh, I like anime, I like manga, that kind of makes us feel like we are actually good at like creating something entertaining. You know what I mean? いや、小学生とか中学生は聞きがち。You get it, right? You say cringe, but like I really just wanted to just tell you how I've been feeling. And this is like the greatest video actually. I mean, thank you, Soro. Are you actually a weeb? I don't watch anime, but yes. めっちゃ外国人っぽい日本語。いや、今のは素でやってた。
もっと分かりたい。
一番好きなアニメは何ですか？
See? They actually ask you like what anime you like too. It's seriously a thing in Japan. Like talking about anime is like that normal. It's not cringe. And thank you, Lemon Jongi. I get high for the first time. It's really weird. Never get high, so you will freak out. This has been going on for 2 hours now, but thanks to your stream, it's a constant reminder time. Time is moving and making me aware of reality. I don't know what you mean by that, but thank you so much for the donation. And thank you, Cyber War. Well, she is doing her work. She can't react negatively. She's smiling, but who knows? She isn't cringing inside. We never think it's cringy. Somebody, Japanese people out there, please just tell them, like, it's not cringy to like anime. Like, talking about anime in Japan like normal. Like, why? Why don't you believe me? Billy 4321 Able, thank you. This just looks like one of those street shows where they try to find cringy people, make fun of them on TV. No, it's more like, oh, our country is this amazing, everybody. It's kind of like, it's for like Japanese people's, like, it's for boosting our self-esteem. Like, TV shows like this are freaking popular in Japan because we want to boost our self-esteem. We want to feel like we are amazing. Like, that's just what it is. Seriously, like, reaction shows are freaking popular here because we want to feel like, oh my gosh, Japan's that amazing. Oh my gosh, people like Japanese stuff. Oh my gosh, it's so flattering. Like, this American guy, this Canadian guy, this French guy, they like anime, they like Japanese stuff. Let me chill. 怒ってる空というか、なんでっていう、そんなにキモいって思わないよっていう。Japanese people out there, we never think they are cringy, right? We never think they are cringy, right, Japanese people? It's actually kind of like, oh, this guy likes anime, that's awesome, it's honorable, right, Japanese people? But like, why do you guys like think it's so offensive and like, why do you guys... Ah! Thank you so much for the donation, Blaze. Of course you pause it when the sister anime comes up. Sister, oh, this? Oh. I didn't know. But thank you so much for the donation, Blaze. Thank you. And I'm sorry for screaming like that. I'm sorry. I have to. I think that this is normal. I would feel proud as well if a foreigner took the time to study. Yeah, literally. そう、ずっとアニメの、てかこれは単純にアニメの話がキモいんじゃなくて、それは話し方がキモいだけなんですよね、これは。いるじゃないですか、自分の話を永遠にしてる人。あれがキモいだけであって、アニメが原因なわけじゃないんですよ。それが、Thank you so much for the donation, D Flowin. Breathe, Sora. Your blood pressure is going up low. Thank you so much for the donation. Thank you. Alright, let me just watch this thing. アニメが好きでアニメから日本語で本当にそうなんですよ。だから、like what this guy's saying is right here, right. I don't really mind people who like anime and like who want to learn Japanese off of anime. It's actually honorable to know that there are people who are interested in Japanese. Like, it just, yeah, that. 本当にマジでそれ、like, that. Like, seriously, that. It's definitely nice. 聞かれてるか答えるけど主張は違う。だこれ心理学的に言うあれですね。アイメッセージが多い人ってやつ。アイメッセージって私メッセージって書くやつで、自分の話ばっかすると相手が消えてくってやつ。15分に9回相手のことを聞くとコミュニケーション高いと思われるらしいですね。自分の話はしないようにしましょうってやつですね。心理学的によく聞くやつ。
俺の妹がこんなに可愛いわけがないのというアニメが一番好きです。
That's cringy, right? That's cringy, right? あ、そう、へーってこれあれですね。実際にその自分心理学系をずっと勉強してた人間なんですけど、その人望がある人間っていうのは自分の話はめったにしないっていう話。俺すげえんだぜはしないらしいです。
なんていうタイトルですか？
俺の妹こんなに可愛いわけがない。
俺の妹こんなに可愛いわけがない、はい、これがタイトルなんですか？
まあ普通は俺妹と言いますけど。
俺妹ちょっとまあ
言いにくいですからね。
この漫画を見てどういうふうに？
アニメです。
アニメ、すみません。
This guy's very typical. I love it. What did you think of this manga?
Anime.
It's an anime. Yeah, this guy is the typical weeb. The most typical one.
今の日本のアニメはローリーキャラも妹からまあ若いからは人気がありますね。
You know how like this guy's actually talking about something super cringy and something like actually, you know, just super cringy to the point like where he might not have any friends, right? But look at like all the people, like freaking they're smiling and going like instead of like, you know what I mean though?
若いからは人気がありますね。
どういうことを言われると萌えとなりますか？
お金をとか
He's like the most typical one.
すいませんじゃあお兄ちゃんを言ってください。
So the difference is here. You guys think it's cringy, right? But look at like all the Japanese people's reactions. Like, so Oda-san he's Japanese and he's just saying like lol. Like no Japanese people are saying like cringe. Like they're saying like lol, this is hilarious. Sheesh. So yeah, this is quite interesting actually. I might actually do some study about like why it's cringy outside of Japan, but it's not cringy in Japan. なんでだろうっすね. Like I feel like it's gonna be a great study, no? Maybe? It's more like awkward. Maybe, yeah. It's kind of awkward, but this is hilarious for us. Definitely. It's not cringy. Like what's cringy is like when people will say something like, this is not cringy though.
お兄ちゃんはですか？あ、私がですか？あ、お兄ちゃん。
Like you can like, so the thing about it is like, you knew how this girl's actually into it and she was like Oni-chan, like she knew how to do that. Like it's actually a thing in Japan, like it's the culture here, it's not cringy and like it's actually kind of hilarious. Like she didn't do it like Oni-chan, but she did it like Oni-chan, like she knew what was gonna happen. Live and X. Sora, can you explain moe? Because translation was sus. Moe is basically like you die because like something is like way too cute. Like it's kind of like, oh, this is way too cute, I'm dying kind of thing. That's moe. Nomiya de yuku arisou na kare. And this guy literally freaking started mourning too because like she said Oni-chan.
お兄ちゃん。
ああもうええで
And Super War, thank you. If you reach this point, you are lost cause F. Thank you so much for the donation. This guy literally asked. そう本当そうマジでそう本当にそうでit's kind of like we don't care and we think it's hilarious just because like it's our stuff, like it's Japanese stuff and we are Japanese, right? So that's kind of why we don't think it's cringy. And it feels nice because like they like Japanese stuff, right? Which kind of makes us feel like they like Japanese people and like anything related to Japan, which makes us feel like this guy likes Japan so that we can like him back as well. Like it's just how it goes. Hawado, thank you. Sora, can you call me Oni-chan? Oni-chan?
ですね
Like what he's saying right here is actually super cringy if you like look at it. See?
お兄ちゃん。
ああもうええですね
This is cringy, right? Yeah. This is cringy, right? 外国人だから面白がってやられる。そう、本当それマジで。So the thing about it is like, if this guy was Japanese, we would be like, yeah, this guy's so cringy. Like that's what it is. Yeah, I think I just figured out. We just figured out like what this is, everybody. If this guy's Japanese, we would be like, that's cringy, bro. That's cringy, bro. But this guy's not Japanese, and that's kind of why, like, people in Japan think this is hilarious. Actually, that's why. Yeah, we just figured out. This guy's not Japanese. That's the reason. So. If this guy was actually Japanese, like, if this guy was me, I would get reported. Like, I would be, like, actually in jail for doing this. Not in jail, but, like, people on the internet would be like, this guy's cringy. Stop it. We have to cancel him. Like, yeah, he might be just what it's like. 5150 whole, thank you. Regular, everyday Japanese, no anime culture? I think so, yes. I mean, anime is like that huge in Japan, though. like I don't watch anime, right? So like even Hiraki, let me just talk about something, right? So this is like the greatest example of like what it's like.
What's
やつらはね、すげえいいあれだと思うんだよな、マジで。So
up? ということでまあ
these people, right? Like Nakabe and Hiraki. Like I haven't seen them recently actually, but did I? I actually saw them like recently. These people, they watch anime. They get laid. More than I do. They've been with like a lot of different girls. They watch anime. I don't watch anime at all. They still get laid. They still get girls. I don't watch anime at all. I don't get girls. Watching anime has nothing to do with like how popular you can get. And even them, like those like cool guys actually watch anime. It's that normal in Japan. Like they freaking go to the gym and they freaking work out and stuff. Still they watch anime. Really? Yeah, yes. What do you mean, like? What do you mean by like really? Who doesn't like Levi Senpai? The thing about it is like, yeah, come to think of it, Nakabe actually did something really cringy. Come to think of it. Ready? Oh, Nakabe, did you delete your Instagram? Did you really delete your Instagram, Nakabe? Are you serious? Dude, did you actually delete your Instagram? Why did you delete it, Nakabe? It was never cringy. But yeah, so isn't it? So Nakabe did a cosplay of like freaking Levi, right? That itself could be kind of cringy, because like cosplaying as like Levi is probably kind of cringy, like, you know, 2.0. But still, he gets girls, like more than average people out there. Yeah, so, and it's normal. Like, it's never cringy. But for some reason, it's somehow cringy outside of Japan, which I never understood why, but... That video is like freaking from last year.
言われるとどんな気分ですか？
そうですね。心が温かくなりますね。
日本語うまいなこの人。心が温かくなるなんてよく言えない。So yeah, and I like how the next video like that just got recommended to me is like this, which means that guy probably had seen like my channel. Hey, the weeb dude, you watching? If you're watching, tell me. If you're watching, tell me. Maybe you're not watching because it's freaking 12:58 p.m. here. Weeb dude, if you're watching, let me know. Just leave a comment and we will just like, I wanna collab with you. I wanna collab with you, and like I just wanna ask you like why you wanted people to call you Oni-chan. I'm gonna call you Oni-chan too if like that's what you want. And let's just go back to like this video. Sorry.
Textbooks. The first is Majide, which literally translates as seriously, and it's used pretty much in the same way that we would use seriously to express surprise or amazement. The second is Uso, or Uso desho, literally translates as it's a lie, you're...
Do we really need u? No, right? 嘘でしょっていう時、うってこれいらなくないですか？嘘でしょ Isn't it like without u? Like, am I tripping? Am I tripping? Am I tripping? いらないっすよね。いらないっすよね、多分。いらないと思う。まあ、いても、あってもいいのかな？ Like, either is fine, probably. 嘘でしょ？そう。いらない。いらない気がする。We don't need u. あってもいいけど、yeah, there can be u, but like, I think it's normal to just say it without u. そう、でしょうだとなんだろ Like, it sounds super formal. You know what I mean?
It's a lie, you're telling a lie. But it's used in the same way in English that we would say, no way, again, to express surprise or disbelief. The third one is yabai, which I struggle to translate, but it's...
Do you guys know what yabai is? So if you guys are learning Japanese, some Japanese person, like, who's really good at talking to people, like this guy was saying, like, you just have to know what yabai is, and then you can survive in Japan. So there are 3 words you have to know, right? Yabai, pane, sorena, dakke. Yabai, pane, sorena. So if you want to act like you're fluent in Japanese, yabai, pane, sorena, like, you just have to know like these 3 words, and people are gonna think you're fluent. So yabai, it's kind of like, it means something like crazy, abnormal, not normal kind of thing. Like yabai, crazy, not normal. Like, so you can say yabai to anything. Like, let's say if a Japanese person comes up to you, パネってこれあれかな、古すぎひょっとして。But パネ and yabai are kind of like the same stuff. And the fluent, thank you. Nah, he's turning Japanese. I think I'm turning that thing. So yabai, パネ, they are the same thing. Which basically means something like, this is not normal, this is crazy, this is awesome kind of thing. So you can say that in any situations, like just yabe, pane, yabai, pane. 髪型も5位も2005年で止まってる。いや、2010年止まってますね。2010年止まってる。2005年はちょっと違ったかな。で、それなis like, I agree with you, right? Yo, you know what's up? I agree with you. Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, right? Like, yeah, right, I agree with you. So like, やばい、それな. You don't have to say パネ actually. You know, just let's get rid of パネ because it's literally the same thing. Just say, やばい、それな. I can literally just like make have a conversation with like some random people on YouTube. Ready? Japanese learning. I'm gonna say yabai and sorena, and I'm gonna freaking just like try to have a conversation with Dogen actually. Dogen, ready? I'm gonna have a conversation with like Dogen. Dogen. This. I'm gonna say yabai and sorena, and let me show you like how it works.
いやー、やっと日本に着いた。
やばい。長
かったな、2年。
それな。
さてと、成田空港から鎌倉大仏まで日
本やばい。
ようこそ。
やばい。
ありがとう。
それな。いや、それな。
鎌倉に行きたいんですけど、ここからの道ってわかりますか？
それな。
ただしその前に観光ビザを。
やばい。
はい、そう。
それな。
はい、これです。ありがとうございます。
それな。
では次は搭乗前に。
やばい。See? So that's like the definite proof of like how やばい and それな. If you know like how these words work, then you can survive in Japan. 相づちうざすぎ。いやでも本当に俺一回やったことあるんですけど、これ超自然にやればバレないですよ、マジで。ただのノリいい人だと思われる。So if you just like spam it like this, then people will be like, what the hell are you saying? But if you do it naturally, then people don't even like notice you saying that. So, それな、やばい。American speaking Japanese. If you mean Dogen, yes. If you mean me, what the
usually to highlight something as being very good or very bad. And finally the phrase しょうがない, which means it can't be helped or there's nothing that can be done. You hear it a lot in Japan as people tend to have quite a fatalistic perspective. Because Japan's a collectivist society, it's a bit more difficult to feel empowered as an individual. And so people are more willing to give in to circumstance and accept things that are outside of their control. So you hear this expression, shogunai, quite often. Is Benedict Cumberbatch popular in Japan? Yeah, it is actually. I asked my friend Yuki the other day what he thinks about Benedict Cumberbatch.
それな、I know right みたいな、本当それですね、マジで。
Here's what he had to say on the matter.
Benedict Cumberbatch!
What's the most common mistake you make while speaking and writing in Japanese?
I don't know why that sinister voice was necessary, but the two things that ruin my day the most are, first off, particles like o, de, to, wa, ga. At first, when you're learning Japanese, they seem...
Do you guys know the difference between like o and wa? I mean, wa and ga, by the way? Like, I don't know if you guys actually study Japanese or not, but like... わかる。日本人の人は分かって普通すぎるというか、分かんなかったらどうやって生活してきたみたいな。Kinda it's been a while. Okay. あ、そうだ。やってしまった。やべえ。外人だと思われる。そらさんって私の外国人がやばいと言い続けて日本人に聞こえるようにしたみたいです。ああ。日本人のも怪しいところがある。まあ確かにたまに自分ね、その、原稿を見てて、ってなるときありますね、声優で。あれあれだよなとかそう。So the difference between like wa and ga is like, this is really close to like saying this. I like an apple and I like the apple. Like this is usually the example like I bring up like when I want to explain the differences between those two. Well, it's kind of like saying and ga's like the. If that makes any sense. Like there's like some similarity between like I like an apple and I like the apple between like 私はリンゴが好きです。私がリンゴが好きです。Kind of like this. The difference between like wa and ga is kind of like I and the from my experience. I mean technically no. Technically no. There are more differences, but if you have no idea what they are literally is like, yeah, then that's literally it. Like wa and ga, and the. Like that's the difference here. How do you say shut up in Japanese? Damare. I mean, so if I have to like explain more, then like I need more time because like it's probably, is there something like and n? No, we don't even like say or n like before like nouns. It's わはトピックマーカーってことね。トピックマーカーが何かわかんないですけど、まあそんな感じですかね。多分。うるさい。It's the same thing, but so 黙れ is like 黙れは shut up, right? うるさい is like you're loud, which means like the same thing though. うるせえ is like yes, also kind of the same thing. うるせえ is like literally just saying the same thing, but like more casually. 黙れ is strong. It's like 黙れ and うるさい those just mean different things. Like 黙れ shut up, うるさい you're loud, but they mean the same thing. やかましいは関西の人ですね。やかましいって我全然言わないんですよ。あれは方言ですよ。ちなみにやかましいをナチュラルに言ってる人いたら、あれは関西の人です。関西というか九州とかですね。大人になって気づくことランキング1位、自分が使っている言葉が方言だってこと。例えば青なじみ。I have a question for Japanese people. 日本人に質問があります。青なじみって言い方しますか？ Do you guys say this by the way? 青なじみって言い方しますか？青なじみ。Do you guys know what this is? Japanese people. 青なじみしませんか？青なじみ言葉を知ってる人は千葉県民です。僕これ方言だって知りませんでした。これあざのことです。はい、すいません。はい、so no Japanese people know what this is. わかる。マリーンさん、千葉県に住んでいますね。もしくは出身ですね。はい、こうやって千葉県民は暴かれます。青なじみ。こんにちは、証券ですしないですね。そう、これは千葉県民しか言わないけど、これ千葉県民はこれ方言って気づいてない。青なじみって言葉は方言です。It's a dialect, by the way. 青 is below and なじみ。Yeah, so like this is like what people in Chiba say bruise. Like, bruise in Japanese is like, it's aza. It's aza. It's like how people in Japan actually say it. But people in Chiba, people in my area say, yeah, 青なじみ。和とがの違いは主語を強調するか述語を強調するか、それを言ってしまうと分からない人が圧倒的に多いんですよ。なのではい、なのでまあそのがと和の違いについてはまた今度しっかり自分で 勉強してもらおうかなと思います。何飲んでんの？コーラです。一体何をしている？何もしてません。
Seem relatively simple as to what they are, but the more you progress through learning the language, the more complicated they become, and the more difficult it becomes to know which one to use.
Blues? As in music? Did I even say blues? Did I really say that? 今度方言を教えて。方言、しけるっていうのはほとんどの人が知らない言葉です。しけるっていうのはしらけるって意味でございます。
So I often get halfway through saying a sentence, then I don't know which particle it is, and then I get confused, the whole sentence is derailed, and I start to cry there and then. And the second thing is verb conjugations. So at the end of the verb in Japanese, it changes depending on the tense of the verb and whether it's causative or passive. So for example, with the verb to eat, tabe.
これさ、こういう考え方してたらよ、日本語って一生わかんなくない？ Is it like what goes on in your head? この人の発音真似できねえ。クリスですか？
And the second.
あ、英語のってことかな。
So for example, things that you'd find with.
If this is actually what goes on like in your head, everybody, like damn, you guys are freaking genius for learning Japanese. Like I never even like think like this. 食べる、食べない、食べた、食べなかった、食べられる、食べさせる。いやー。Cause like 食べられる is not really to be able to eat either. 食べられる also means like to be eaten too. So if you try to remember this way, yeah, I feel like you'll just like get stuck. I like this freaking pattern of 20 different like words that mean the same thing. How do you to be made to eat? 食べられる。そう、複数の捉え方あるのかな？もしくは食べられるっていうのは This is actually this can mean like eat but in a polite language like 彼はこれを食べられるそうです which means like he will eat it or like I heard he will eat it. So if you try to remember like this way then it's gonna confuse you like if it's gonna confuse you a lot. So then what to do is like don't try to remember words like this, but what you have to do is like remember sentences instead. ラ抜き言葉が楽しいから食べれる。ワードとかで使うとラは入れないといけないって言いますが、これどうなんですか？ラを抜いちゃいけないとは言いません？逆に。So instead of learning what those words are like this, try to learn phrases individually. Like instead of like 食べる食べられる食べられる just remember, just try to learn something like 私はこれを食べる私はこれを食べない私はこれを食べた or something like that instead of just like words. ラ抜き言葉は日本語の進化。じゃあ今ラを抜いた方がいいんですかこれ。It's hard to teach native language. It's sort of actually hard to like teach people when you speak the language already. I mean, I kind of went through that as well, so yeah. 正式ではない。ラ抜きってダメなんじゃないですかって習いましたよ、俺。
With that verb, it can be difficult in conversation sometimes to quickly and fluently.
これあれですね、if you remember like phrases instead of like words, this is like what kids do, and that's kind of why kids are just so good at learning. They don't care what each word means. They just care how to like talk to people, right? And they just like focus on phrases rather than words. 言われると言わされるの違い。言わされるはだってそっか。されるそっか。
Say those conjugations, but the more difficult ones like saseru, to be made to do something. But still, when you're speaking, it can be difficult to get them out sometimes. I mean, look at taberareru. It took me like 2 years to be able to say that. When I was first doing it, it was like. Oh.
Can you say tabe? Can you guys say rareru? Rareru, 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 La de do da 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 de do. La de do 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 la de do. If you can say this, you can be a voice actor, because like this is freaking like something we want to avoid as much as possible. Like if you can say it clearly, like la de do 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 la de do, you can be a voice actor, seriously. If you sound like then no. So just saying yes, but like this is, so as a voice actor, this is like what we want to avoid. Whatever.
Oh, tabby-dabby-doo-ba-doo-ba-doo.
Yeah. Non-Japanese people do this. Like, you know how, so I've seen like a lot of people like who just say something like, oh, I speak Japanese, bro, like on the internet, right? So like, when I play games such as like Overwatch, League of Legends, not League of Legends, Apex Legends, and I, you know, just play with some like random strangers and they say something like, oh, you speak Japanese, bro? And I go like, yeah, I'm Japanese, I speak Japanese. And they usually go like, oh, I speak Japanese too, bro. And they go like, that's, yeah, they think that's just what Japanese sounds like. Do you guys think it's racist, by the way? Because like we don't think it's racist, it's freaking hilarious to us. So but that now, yeah, some people think it's racist. So kinda, yeah. See, I mean, so alright, promise me everybody, you can think whatever is racist towards Japanese people, but please don't get offended for us, and please don't try to cancel others for Japanese people, okay? You can get offended, you can get whatever, you can get angry at some people, but don't get offended for Japanese people. Yeah, promise me, okay? I'm gonna upload one video like related to that, so because like that's actually kind of important. So レイシストとは本当にそれよマジで最近もう分かんないですもん、なんかもう。Like, so recently, yeah, like, so there was like this one amazing fight on my channel recently between like some people on my channel, like in the comment section, right? So, like somebody was basically memeing on my channel using my stuff, right? And some other people got offended for me because they wanted to get offended for me, I guess. And then there was like this interesting sacred fight on my channel between like two keyboard holders, right? And they basically just started saying like how whatever was racist and how whatever was rude to Sora and how whatever was not acceptable because Sora doesn't like it. And I'm like, I'm just freaking right here reading all the comments and freaking laughing at the whole like thing, right? So I mean, yeah, you can get offended for people. You can get, I'm not gonna say keyboard warriors because they just, I don't really know if they were actually being warriors or not, but they were just like holding keyboards, I want to say. So, yeah. I mean, you can get offended for me, I guess, but you don't have to express like how you are offended for me or like for Japanese people. I don't really think we get offended that much. People in Japan is like what I mean. I mean they do, well we do, but still, like, you know what I mean?
I'm in trouble. I begin to like you. You're sarcastic. You've sat too close to my favourite YouTuber, Sharla in Japan. And your accent is not American, which I'm familiar with. Yet, strangely enough, I find myself liking you. Wow, what a wonderfully frank compliment. Thank you, Yoshi. I think that's the nicest comment I've had in 4 years of doing YouTube. And I'm glad that my proximity to Sharla, who's also in Japan, has not stood between us.
That sounds like the guy was like hitting on him, but no. Is it like just me being Japanese? 食べさせられなかったって。ああ、確かに。ね、ペットとかにね。No, that was fruity. Fruity. Probably all the Japanese people out there think like it's kind of like a love letter, because I would think it's a love letter. So people outside of Japan just like express how they like somebody, they love somebody. They say it, right? But like if you say it like this in Japanese, like two Japanese people, they will think like you're in love with them. I'm used to it now, so I kind of do it myself as well. But yeah, so it's like fruity. Yeah, fruity. Somebody just said fruity, so I was like, okay, fruity. Maybe flirty? He was like, wait, I can watch you even though you'll all like sit there and OMG. How do you do that platonically? You just like somebody.
It's close. Maybe that close, once or twice now. Fun fact about Charla, of course, I'm actually ranked more than her on famousbirthdays.com. I think I'm around 1,318 and she's something like 4,000 and something ridiculous. I mean, you can hardly call that famous. Yes, she may have more subscribers on YouTube, but...
Famous birthdays. If Charla in Japan is there, and if Chris Burhard is there, can I find myself? Googling Google.
And something ridiculous. I mean, you can hardly call that famous. Yes, she may have more subscribers on YouTube, but I think we know which statistic is more impressive. So yeah. But thanks again, Yoshi. I'm very grateful. What's the best way to learn for someone that does not live in Japan?
Play VR chat, everybody. Play VR chat, everybody. 顔やつれてます。いやなんかそう。Play VR chat, everybody. Play VR chat. So, all the people who want to learn Japanese out there, just throw away your textbooks, throw away your like whatever apps like you guys have. Play VR chat and just play VR chat and just go up to Japanese people and just be like, hey, I like anime. Oh my gosh, like I watched this anime and do you watch Attack on Titan? Do that. You'll make freaking 10,000 friends. VR chat scares me. The thing about it is like... Actually, never mind. So, I saw like a lot of people kind of just talking about VR chat like 2 hours ago, pre-stream chat. And they were like, oh, VR chat is actually useful for learning Japanese. So, それはブロックされるだろう。いや、意外とされないですよ。みんな受ける。なんなら俺やってたんで。So, no, you actually don't get blocked for saying something like, oh my gosh, do you watch Attack on Titan? Because I've done it myself. People don't block you for that. So, I'm convinced Sora's trolling us into thinking anime is not cringe. It's not cringy! この人たちさ、DJ フォイ君がさ、アニメめっちゃ見てアニメの話してるの見たら発狂して死ぬんじゃないの？マジでちょっと見せよう今から。この人たちさ、あんなさヤンキーさ、入れ墨入れまくってるヤンキーを見してさ、アニメについてさ語ってるの見たら死んじゃうんじゃない？ブリッジ実写見たけどすまん。You know how this good-looking guy, this guy with like freaking tattoos like on his neck and he freaking raps and whatever, right? He's like the yo sub bro kind of type of person. You know what I'm talking about? This guy's actually freaking famous and popular in Japan. You know what he's talking about in his video? Do you guys know what this guy's talking about in his video? He's talking about anime! He's talking about anime and his love towards anime. What's wrong with his neck? He has like a freaking tattoos like freaking everywhere. Foi, DJ foi. 入れ墨タトゥーって言った方がいいのか Dude, like, this guy is, you know, being like this. He freaking raps and he's like, yo, bro, what's up, man? Bam, 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 kind of guy, right? He was freaking talking about anime. This guy talks about freaking One Piece a lot. Oh, okay, he's not Japanese.
墨が入っとっちゃうけど、あ、そう、丸尾だよ。丸尾と正金が入ってんだけど、ここの、あ、いいよ。こっちとこっちに入っとっちゃうけど、ここがね、もうマジで痛くて、ここと。
He's not Japanese, right? He does not look the part of anime otaku. I'm telling you, like anime is like that normal in Japan. It's not freaking a thing for nerds anymore. It was before. Like 10 years ago, yes, it was. Like if you say you watch anime, then it was like something really embarrassing. It's not like that anymore. So let me tell you, like, so seriously, like, なんでアニメキモいものって思うんだ海外の人 Like literally like see that's the advertisement I just literally got Seriously that's One Piece I just got an advertisement of like One Piece on the video where a guy with tattoos is talking about how he got his tattoos. Like this guy, right? That's just 単純にレペゼンが好きではない。まあレペゼン好きじゃない人と好きな人分かれるんで、まあそこはまあ意見があるとして。自分は面白いって思っちゃうタイプなんで。けど、アニメはそんぐらい普通ですよってお話ですよ。Anime isn't cringe. Modern Western cartoons are cringe AF. It's alright, so let me rephrase it. Anime is not cringy. Weebs are not cringy. It's more like people who just keep talking about themselves are cringy. Do you get it? Alright, so as a guy who kind of studies like psychology before, let me kind of talk about like what's considered cringy and why people think it's cringy. Why weebs are cringy. Ready? So, ペイント出すか。これはマジでみんな知っといた方がいいと思う。アメリカ人の人これやるからな、特に。So here, there's this, like, cringy formula. Ready? So, basically you have to think about this. Anime, weebs, so anime, no cringe. No, it's not cringy. Weebs, you might say it's cringy, right? But no, there's a reason. Talking about yourself is like huge cringy. Like that's what it's like. Psychologically, so this is kind of what you learn though. Like, so basically, if you just keep talking about yourself, and if you just like don't even care about what others want to talk about, that's considered cringy. And for some reason, weebs tend to do it. Yeah, 自分ばっかりってやつ. So weebs tend to talk about anime. Weebs tend to just go up to you and be like, hey, anime. That's why you think weebs are cringy. So liking anime itself is never cringy. Being a weeb is like not cringy. But the reason why people think weebs are cringy is because they do this. Talking about yourself.It's the same. そう、自分語りすると痛いやつと思われるんだけど、それを気づいてない人がちょっと多いので、多分それってことを気づいた方がいいと思いました。So like here, liking cars, not cringy. It's not cringy, right? Not cringy. But people who keep talking about cars saying like, my car's awesome, big cringe. You know what I'm talking about? If you talk about yourself, more you talk about yourself, more cringy you become. Like, that's how it works. Then, I mean, I kind of talked about this before in a video too. Like, so if you wanted to be popular with people, if you wanted to freaking, make friends and whatever, don't even talk about yourself. Like, people don't care about you, like, at all. What people care about is, like, themselves. So, this is actually what I learned, like, when I was, like, freaking studying psychology back in university. But instead of talking about yourself, talk about what others want to talk about. Or, like, just let others talk about themselves. So here, you can be a weeb, right? You can be a weeb, but instead of talking about what you want to talk about, say something like, hey, where are you from? What do you like? What blah 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 blah? What blah 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 blah? Ask them questions and figure out what they want to talk about. Then just like talk about, like what you think should be the appropriate like topic for that. So. Exactly this. So like the definition of cringy is like when you just talk about yourself. 聞き上手は勝ち組。いや本当にそれで I know like you want to talk about yourself. I know like you freaking just like use probably like Facebook and Twitter and just like use them as like your diary, but you shouldn't really do that because people don't even care about you. And like what people care about is like themselves, like psychologically. That's how it is. So そう自分のことをたくさん話して自分がどれだけ好きっていう誰も聞いてないことを話すのがキモいだけである。そうだから instead of like saying I like anime instead of that like you can just ask them like if they are interested in anime, if so what anime, if not then what movies like they're interested in, and then you can probably talk about oh you're interested in that, I like anime, yeah, then people won't think you're cringy. So that's just how it goes, but I just kind of wanted to explain because so 夏休みの宿題やらないといけないからさよなら頑張ってください Some people really will like rant about their day and then no one else gets to like so you know so especially in English speaking countries like people say this one phrase he talks a lot, right? This one phrase, right? He talks a lot. Do you guys know like what people mean when they say like he talks a lot? It's usually a bad thing, right? It's usually a bad thing. Do you guys know like what people mean by this? He's annoying, he's cringy. Yeah, he talks a lot. Annoying, yeah. He talks too much. He won't shut up. Yeah. So, and thank you guys. 1 hour 30 minutes and we are halfway through the video. I mean, I can just like finish the video, but like I don't really think that's what you guys like want. You mean they're annoying and won't stop talking about things you don't care about. Yeah, right. So, 確かにこの時期に終わってないのえぐいな。So he talks a lot. This one thing, I actually did some like research about this myself because I was really curious like what this was because like we don't say this in Japan. He talks a lot. Like I don't know like what the translation for this could be in Japanese. Maybe like なんだろう日本 how do you say in Japanese? It's like isn't it like なんだろう話しすぎって言わないですもんね。なんだろう話しすぎなんかだるいとか口が軽いいやなんかずっと話す人なんかずっと止まんない人うるさいとかうるさいじゃないのなんだろうなうざいかな annoying いやおしゃべりさんよくしゃべりますねいや we don't really say it in Japanese うざい多分うざいだと思う like annoying like he's うざい he talks a lot is like something しゃべりすぎってちょっとそれディベートの時じゃないですかそう京都民 So it's something like we actually don't say in Japanese so like but yeah so I used to play this game called CSGO only to figure out some things like about people and like only to just kind of like study some stuff like based on psychology, right? So I checked and I stalked some people and then I tried to figure out what people really mean like when they say he talks a lot, she talks a lot. So 人の話を聞かない人ね自分語り So there was like this one person who talked a lot. But this guy didn't get this from people. And there was like this girl who literally talked a lot. And she would get this like freaking 50 times a day. And she got blocked by so many people. The difference, you played C3, it's actually a great place to like freaking learn like their behavior and like their like you can just figure out what kind of people tend to be popular and like who get hated and stuff. It was like an actual like great place to see how socialization kind of works there. And so the difference here was this. This girl was literally talking about herself, like saying something like, oh, I did this, I killed somebody, oh, and you know, today I had this breakfast and it was tasty, blah, 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 blah. She was talking about like what she sees, right? And this guy never talked about himself, but instead he was actually having a conversation with people. Instead of talking about what he saw, what he did, what he likes, he basically kept asking questions and he asked the people how they are going. Like he was like, oh, it's Mickey Mouse. How's it going, Mickey Mouse? Hey, Mickey, I heard you did this the other day. How's it going, Mickey Mouse? How did you do it well? Oh, Mickey Mouse, so I heard that you were dating that chick and how's it going, Mickey Mouse? He was talking a lot, definitely, but nobody told him this. And so that's kind of why people think weebs are cringy, because weebs do this. Right? スピークかトークか。いや、本当にそれよ。スピークかトークの違いだと思う。マジで。マジでそれだと思う。So instead of like, this is like what I used to say to like freaking my students when I was a teacher. Instead of like giving a speech, you have to have a conversation, right? So don't try to give a speech about things like nobody cares about, but just actually try to have a conversation. And conversation is like, the definition of that is like you talk about what they want to talk about. Like you ask them the questions, ask them questions, and you answer questions, and you ask about blah 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 blah. So yeah. So 食べられますか is 変な日本語。食べられますかは別に変じゃないですよね。別に。People think you are talkative when asking questions despite not talking much. Depends on like how you ask the question and how you do it, and depends on like what timing it is though. Like when people are like literally talking about something else, and if you just go up and just show up and just go like, hey, do you like this? Then people will be like, what the fuck? It's all about how much damn, talking about what you like is essentially the same as talking about yourself. It is. I mean, you are talking about what you see, which is something people never care about. So you have to remember, like psychologically, this is not like what I think, but this is like psychologically true. You have to remember that people don't really care about others. People care about like themselves more than others. Like that's how it is. So you saying like, oh, I like this, I made this, I did this, isn't really that important. Unless you're a father or a mother and you're listening to your son talking about their stuff. So like if I say something like, you know what, I just had breakfast and like it was ramen, it was tasty. And yeah, I play CSGO and I'm so like into it and like, yeah, it's fun. You don't care, right? It's like, so what kind of thing. So if you get rid of like all the, you know, I'm talking about myself stuff, then you usually get more attention. 自分そうなんですよ。勝手になんかその進んじゃうのが問題だと思うんだよな。だからそう the definition of like being cringy and the what's really cringy is this. This is why people think weebs are cringy, because weebs do this a lot, definitely. Like Attack on Titan! Levi Senpai! Do you like Levi Senpai? Oh my gosh, he's so cool. Yeah, that's why. So, and I've seen like a lot of weebs like who don't do that, and that's kind of why I've been saying like weebs aren't that cringy. It depends on like who it is. It's not really like if weebs are cringy or not. It's more like if the person's cringy or not, right? You don't like cringy? I don't really care, honestly. I don't really care if somebody cringy or not. I mean, when I was a teacher, I had this one student who was like on the spectrum, right? and he had like Asperger's and stuff, and like he would freaking talk about, what was it? He would freaking talk about, what was that one like cartoon called? Whatever. He would freaking talk about Barney the dinosaur like nonstop for 2 hours. He would go like, oh, that color, that purple color is really funny. And in this episode, Barney did this. It was not Barney the dinosaur. I forgot what that was, but so I'm used to it, and I was kind of fine with it too. But I'm just saying, like what is considered cringy and like what, like, you know, draws like people away from you. It's talking about yourself, talking about what you see. But what about people who are great storytellers? Usually people love to listen to them. Storytellers aren't talking about themselves though. Storytellers are talking about telling people a story. And when they are interested in the story, yes, they know when to talk about it. I mean, I was like, I know like one guy who does that. But so the first thing is like he doesn't just talk about like what he sees, what he does, what he experienced. He talks about it when people are interested in it. People literally go like, oh yeah, I wanna hear the story. Let us know. And then he talks about it, right? He just doesn't go like, hey, I'm gonna tell you guys a story. Ready? And he just starts talking about it. He doesn't do that, right? So, だから the difference is like, if you talk about what you see, what you felt, what you are doing to people, then other people will be like, sure, that's awesome. So, sometimes I get into my special interest. Yeah, so like people with ADHD, people who are on the spectrum, people who have autism tend to do that, like talking about themselves. Which I understand like quite a lot, because I studied like psychology and whatever, so I know like how it works. So that's kind of why I never say like being cringy is never bad, because some people don't know how to not do that, and I know the struggles. So it's fine. Like, it's never a bad thing. But I'm saying, like, when people think you are annoying, you might be doing that. So, yeah. Yeah, I know. Like, it's mostly the people who have, like, autism. So, and for them, it's hard. And for them, it's hard to know, like, when they are doing that. And that's kind of why I never say, like, yeah, cringy people are bad and don't be cringy and whatever. Because, like, it's something they cannot change, right? But you can still know how to fix it, maybe? Yeah, ADHD. So they usually talk about like what you see, what they experienced, what they did, what they want to talk about. If people with ADHD come up with like something they want to talk about, they have to talk about it, or they'll get stressed out. Like that's how it goes. So I know how it works. But so were you ever bullied? I wasn't bullied. I don't really think I was ever bullied. But I was like the type of person who'd freaking just like troll the shit out of people, right? So I don't think I was ever bullied, and I don't really think I ever bullied people. I was like that one guy who would freaking laugh at like Barney the dinosaur by himself. If that makes any sense. いや本当にそう自分のことを話したりしないし、みんなが興味あることを言う。あと質問をしてきますね。So yeah, that like actual good conversationalist or like conversationist, I think they are the same thing. They don't really talk about themselves. Like they actually have a conversation, right? You know how there were some teachers like who were really, really good at teaching? Those teachers would ask you questions, right? Instead. Like they would ask you something like, so guys, do you guys know why the answer could be like this? Can you tell me? Right? Instead of going like, so this is that, this is that, boom, penis. So, is Giga Chat being cringy? I don't know what you mean, but I don't really think it's cringy. I ask people about themselves, so hopefully they will ask about me. Depends. Some people just like, if you ask questions about them, then some people would just like keep talking about them and they would just keep going like that forever. So yeah, it sometimes might work, and sometimes like they might ask you like how it is and how things are for you. Then you can talk about yourself, and then yeah, usually people won't think you are annoying. So ADHD makes my conversations unintelligible because I skipped a few steps when explaining. Yeah, people with ADHD do that, so but I understand it, so yeah. Nothing to watch. My uncle says the best way to make friends with someone is to be able to get them to talk about themselves. That's yeah, right. So I mean, I really didn't want to talk about this, but like, so as a guy who's never gotten laid, like at all, like I shouldn't even talk about this, but this is like what people say. Like if you wanted to be popular with like girls, like if you wanted to be popular with guys, right? Get people to talk about themselves and say, yeah, right? Or like, yeah, I feel you. And just empathize with them. Like that's how you get laid. Apparently, I don't know about it. I've never done it myself. I've never actually gotten laid with that. But yeah, so if you just do that, then people will be freaking like, you'll be popular. You'll get laid. Again, like I've never done that, so I don't know, but so he's just spamming the same thing. Who? It's so asking to get laid. No, I'm not saying that, but they like you have no personality. They are I will try that on next party. Thanks, Sora. Yeah, just say something like, "Hey, what so how you doing? I see you wearing that thing, but do you like that thing? Oh, you do? Where did you buy it from? Really? That's awesome. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, I like it. So does that mean you like this? That is usually something. Yeah, that kind of works. So stop saying how about you by like 3 people thinking I'm boring. How about you? If you just say that, then I mean it kind of sounds like you don't care about like actual conversations. So this is like what you learn, like if you learn like psychology, but start your phrases with like W and H. Like 4W and 1H is like what they say. Like what, when, where, why, and how. Then you can do it well. And what is this? Am I fuckable? Yeah, I mean. But thank you so much for the donation. So dating advice, I mean, I'm sorry, like I shouldn't even say that because like I actually am not good at it, like at all. I'm not being humble. Like I seriously don't know how dating works. Seriously, I don't have like much experience. So it's annoying when people talk about themselves together. Culturally, it's awkward or rude in Japan to talk about yourself. How do you develop relationships? You don't even have to like do that to do. Like it's the same everywhere though. Like you don't have to just go like I do this, I do that, I do this, I do that. You just have a conversation instead of like just talking about yourself and giving a speech. So think about it. Are you giving a speech or are you talking to the person? Like that's kind of like what you think about. Like, am I giving a speech or am I talking to this person? If you just go like I do this, I like that, I like this, I like that, and I do blah, 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 then it's not a conversation. So conversations basically, it's like a catchable. It's like what people say in Japan. Is it like you're, exchanging information about each other? You're actually getting to know about the person? So don't you ask the other person what they do and enjoy? You can ask them that too. Yeah, that's usually, yeah, 会話のキャッチボール。そうね、本当にそれでございます。If you just ask yourself, like, am I giving a speech? Am I just talking about what I want to talk about? So, it's not less talking about yourself, but talking about the other person and learning. Yes, it's exactly this. そう、使ってるワックスの話しか、そう、yeah, like, exactly. If I just keep talking about, like, what hair wax I use and, like, what hair wax I love, like, in every stream, you guys would freaking go, like, Sora STFU, right? So I mean, that's literally what it's like. So that's kind of why I never talk about wax, but it's not the reason actually. So talking to people is hard. I think there's you might have some like experience to get used to it as well. Like the best way to do it is to just throw yourself to like at places like where you have to talk to people, like parties, like bars maybe. I've never been there, so I don't know, but and whatever. Like in my case, what I did was like when I was back in school, like I would freaking actually talk to some random people like every day. Like I would go to some like places for just talking to some random people, and I would just like make friends there, and like I did that every day. I don't do that anymore because I have like other things to do, and I kind of learned like what kind of behavior is hated and what kind of people can get popular. And I noticed like people who don't talk about themselves tend to get popular is like what I just figured out. 日本人は猫背が多いって聞いたことあるけど、日本人というか現代人みんなそうなんじゃないですか？ちょっとわかんないですけど。Online socializing in real life socializing are very different things. I kind of think they are similar though. So those two are different things, you say, right? Maybe in a way, but honestly, if you can talk to people online, then you can probably talk to people in real life as well. Because what you do is exactly the same as like what you do on the internet. It's just like they are like eye contacts and like body language and whatever. But like other than that, what you talk about wouldn't change. So if you have a hard time like talking to people in real life, then you can just start off from like VR chat and just talk to people and go like, why anime do you like? Like Levi Senpai's kakoi. Like Levi, do you like Levi Senpai? You can do that. Then you learn like what's cringy, what's not cringy. Then you can do that in real life, and you usually find yourself like getting better at it. I mean, that's kind of what I went through though, really. Honestly, like I'm not gonna say like I'm good at talking to people and whatever, but I've been still learning. そう彼らはでもね、そう大体進撃の巨人なんで、正直に言うと今までその見てきたウィーブは大体進撃の巨人が好きって言ってくる。But yeah, I mean, I kind of went through the same thing as well, so I'd run in the opposite direction. You can do that, yeah. I can only conversate properly if I have the same hobby as the person. I mean, that's probably how it is as well for you, yeah. You were good at talking to us though. It's more like I'm just used to being here on my channel. So yeah, it's just like more like I'm used to being here. I think I would be a different person if I'm like everyone like trash taste podcast for like for example. じゃあ進撃の巨人の予習するか VR チャットの前に。いやマジでしといた方がいいですよ。マジでだいたい進撃の巨人かっこいいって言われるんで。マジで。マジ。Anyways, let me actually finish this.
All the learning resources and tools mentioned in this video can be downloaded, bought, or watched anywhere in the world. The only hurdle that remains is being able to speak and use the Japanese you're learning. One of the reasons I didn't really feel motivated to learn Japanese before I came to Japan is I knew I wouldn't be able to use the things I was learning there and then. It's not commonplace to find a Japanese native speaker walking down the streets of Reupload.
What if you were talking to all of us in person? I can give a speech in front of you guys, but like talking to all of you at the same time, it's kind of impossible because like how many people are there, right? So.
Rural England. Fortunately, these days there's lots of services and things online that you can use to get around the problem. Last year in a video I mentioned a website called italki where you can find a tutor or language partner to talk with. It's so convenient and good that I actually used it for a time while I was in Japan. For example, when I got here I started going to a Japanese language class in the local community centre with various other learners of Japanese. And I
would love to hear Sora giving a speech like, you mean like you actually want me to talk about like myself? 前通話アプリやってたけどマジで進撃好き多いよ。いやなんか本当にウィーブは大体アタックオンタイタンって言ってきます。マジで。Yeah, nah, man. I mean, why not? Okay. Sure. Let me show you how to keep people away from you by talking about what people don't even care about. Ready? So this is how you do it. So, I got emails from somebody. And yeah, see? These emails are interesting. And I have to work later, because I got work. And, yeah, this Zero Coke is actually tasty too. I like ramen, by the way. I like ramen. I like ramen and I like ramen. Like, miso ramen is the best. I keep eating miso ramen. Miso ramen, like. でって言われたでって最強っすよね、マジ。Yeah, so. Yeah, I like ramen. And I had dumplings earlier. And it was tasty. So. And I got this mouse for $100. It's good. Ah! Thank you so much for the donation, S. STFU. You see? So this is how you get people to like STFU. So basically just talk about yourself, like talk about what you see, what you're doing, and then people will be like, yeah, we don't care. Because again, like, so people don't care about you. You just have to remember that. People don't care about you, but people rather care about useful info out there. So instead of that, there's actually a way to talk about what you want to talk about though. Ready? So I'm gonna just talk about what I want to talk about with you guys without making you guys feel like I'm freaking giving a speech. Ready? Guys, so I recently figured out something actually hilarious. Do you guys know this game called Apex Legends, and there's a naked person in the game? Like, this one character is freaking naked. Did you guys know about it, by the way? This game called Apex Legends has a character that's completely naked. Do you guys know about this, by the way? Completely naked, right? So, yeah, people play the game to pick the character, right? Yeah. Did you guys know about it, by the way? Did you guys know about it? Did you guys know about it? Tell me. The naked character. Alright, so yeah, I mean, what I just talked about is like all BS. There's like no naked characters and whatever in the game. But see how people just said like, what? Yeah? Question mark. I just got you guys to say like, question mark, what is it? Why? What? How? Show me. So I don't know how it works. I don't really know like how to do this, but like you just have to get people to be actually curious about what you want to talk about. It's kind of easy though, like if you learn like how to do it. But something crazy, like something intriguing. Just talk about something like crazy and they will be like, oh, what the fuck? So, something like they care about. Drama baiting. It's not that though. Like it doesn't have to be that. Like it can be something like people can be interested in. Like something like, let's see, plausible. Like anything is fine though. Like I just brought up like Apex Legends because I was playing Apex Legends yesterday and I freaking won. Hair wax. Alright, so this is actually real. So you guys know hair wax, right? Do you guys think you can use rice as your hair wax? Yes or no? Tell me. Because I had this like Filipino friend who freaking used rice as his hair wax back in university. No, it's actually this is real, by the way. This is real. So Rice cooker, I get it. But this Filipino guy, literally what he did was like freaking, he cooked rice, right? He cooked rice. Then he freaking put it on his head. He freaking did this. どんだけ金ないんでマジで I was like, what's wrong with you? Hair wax is like freaking $5. Like even $4, even like $2 sometimes. Like why do you even do it? I mean, is it made from rice? It's rice, just completely just rice. It's not even like made from rice or anything. It's rice, not rice water. Rice, just rice. Rice, put some rice on your like hands and just like rub it like this, and boom. That's what he did. What did it look like? I didn't know it was actually rice. Right? But yeah. I mean, that's actually real, but that's kind of like how you get to talk about what you want to talk about. I just wanted to talk about hair wax, so I just talked about that. But it was not like I was giving a speech, right? Conversation happened. Like, why? How? Did it work? See? People are curious. So it actually works. See? Curious. People are curious about it. So I can talk about poop as well, but like I'm gonna just like, avoid that. Is it really easy for you to stream for 3 hours and continuously talk and find topics? It's easy for me, and that's kind of why I became a YouTuber. And thank you, S. Say intriguing again. Intriguing.
Intriguing.
So I know your personality type. ENFP. ENFP。次回の生配信で米がヘアワックスになるか実証お願いします。多分なるの知ってるんでやめときます。やってみて。けど食べ物粗末にするなって言われたらそうだねって言っちゃうからやだ。And thank you, F8150 Hold. Can you try making a conversation talking about underwear? Underwear? Sure, like anything, right? Underwear. I mean, so one thing I'm curious about is like, do you guys actually wear underwear at home? Like, do you guys actually wear stuff though at home? Or like, are you guys usually naked? Naked or underwear? Because I know some people who are like completely naked. Like at home. We are not usually naked. I know some people like who are naked though. See? There are some people like who are naked at home. Lots of girls don't wear bras. And thank you, Levan X. Did you know there's a VTuber who collects zombie underwear in a video game? What the fuck? So, yeah, so it's a thing. And one of my closest friends, Sen, told me like it's a thing in Western countries, like where they are naked at home. So they don't wear underwear. I wear it though, by the way. I wear it. But yeah, girls like don't wear bras. Like it's actually a thing at home, right? And what else? And speaking of that, there's like this one place called Don Quixote, and I went there a while ago and I found this picture. Like in Japan, they freaking sell like some interesting underwear here. Let me show you. Here. I showed you this picture before, but black man. Wait, let me actually change it. Black man. Super bikini. A man has freedom as a man. It is dream love and everything else. Black man is pursuing it forever. Black man makes you to be free. It is a nice taste. Japanglish. So it makes no sense, right? but that's just kind of how it is. By the way, I have a question for guys. Do you guys ever wear briefs? By the way, do you guys ever wear briefs? Because in Japan, people wear boxers, right? Wait. I'm actually curious. Tell me. I'm actually curious. 子供の時はブリーフだった。そう、なんでなんだろうね、それ。We wear boxers, but let's see. Okay, so if you wear briefs in Japan, you get bullied. By the way, you get bullied. People will call you a brief man. Yeah, so boxers are supposed to be cooler, and briefs are for like children. Why? I don't know. Like, so. So, I remember when I was like back in school, like when I was back in middle school, like freaking in the 9th grade, right? There was this guy, right? And he was freaking funny and stuff. And I think he was like Hiraki, maybe. Was it Hiraki? Or like somebody else? Basically, somebody freaking went up to him and took his pants off, like boom, like randomly, like boom, right? And then we all saw him wearing briefs, and we were like, oh my gosh, he's wearing briefs! And then, since then, his nickname has been Briefman. He got pantsed, yes. So everybody calls him like Briefman. Like, there's nothing wrong with it, right? But what is the situation? Like, we were at school, like he just suddenly got pantsed. And yeah, Briefman. Like Superman, Anpanman, Briefman. Did you see brown streaks? He didn't have like skid marks. No, he didn't have like any of it. どういう状況知らない? So yeah, it's a thing. Be careful, everybody. Wearing briefs in Japan is really, yeah. So トランクスとかね、トランクスマンもいたわ。でもトランクスは多分大丈夫だったかな。So yeah, wearing briefs is cringy. But yeah, see? So this is how you do it. I didn't talk about myself. I didn't talk about what I saw, what I did, what I think. There was like this conversation going on, right? Like actual conversation of like exchanging info. And I didn't talk about myself. But that's like that's like how you do it. I literally just talked about underwear, right? So that's how you do it, basically.
I had to sit there.
Let me just go back to like this video because I kind of wanted to just watch this.
Wait for my turn as we went round in a circle, listening to people say, "Oh, hajime mashite, watashi wa Ted desu, yoroshiku onegaishimasu." It wasn't fun. It wasn't good.
Chris Broad might be actually fluent in Japanese.
To learning a language. But fortunately, we live in a time where time and space no longer have to get in the way of learning a language. You can pick your tutor from a list, schedule a time to talk to them, and then have a Skype call wherever and whenever you want. And because no one has to spend their pocket money going to and from a community centre.
Pretty sure Chris is almost fluent. I think he's fluent, yeah. Like really fluent for sure.
Or a classroom.
You literally gave him B tier. I mean, I did, but because like there were so many people who were like insanely fluent.
It's cheaper as well. So if you live outside Japan or even.
But yeah, I didn't say like he's bad at speaking Japanese though. Like, I know he's somewhat fluent, but compared to like those actual, like, you know, super fluent people, then.
Outside Japan and you want a tutor, I do recommend italki.
How is his accent though? He sounds foreign, but like there's nothing wrong with like sounding foreign.
Because I mentioned them in a video last year and lots of viewers liked the service and gave excellent feedback, italki have generously given.
Now Dogen isn't really. You cannot really compare Dogen to like other people. Like Dogen himself is like. Dogen's Dogen tier. Like you really cannot Dogen You really cannot compare Dogen to like other people.
Vouchers to anyone watching this video. It's not often you get things for free on this channel except to laugh at my occasional
英
misfortune.
語話せない日本の人がチャンネル頻繁に出てたし。それ知らなかった。
So, if you do book a class with a tutor on italki at the link in the box below, you'll get your second class absolutely free. It is pretty good.
Like, so when I talk about Dogen, like Dogen isn't a Japanese learner. He's a teacher. So, like what I mean is like he is good at teaching. あの人は別軸で、あの人は単純にその日本人が知らないことを知ってるから、あの人はね、ちょっとなんだろう、学習者っていうカテゴリーに入れちゃいけない気がする。He's not a Japanese learner. Like he knows like some things like Japanese people don't even know as well. So, Dogen is the Goku of Nihongo. It's more like he's the なんだろうな、he's a teacher though. Like you know what I mean? I don't think he teaches anymore. He's a teacher. He's a teacher. That's kind of what he does on YouTube too, by the way.
And worth checking
He
out.
has like this Patreon stuff that like where he teaches Japanese. That's where his income like comes from basically. Dogen may be becoming Japanese through he acts Japanese too, so.
Out for anyone looking to practice with a native speaker of Japanese. So yeah, check it out. Why do you always wear black shirts?
そう、あの人はね、日本語を学ぶ人っていうかね、学者なんだよね、本当に。本当になんか言語学者って感じなんで、なんか一般の人と比べるとするなら、そこに出てくるのは大学の言語学者とか、そういう人じゃないといけないと思う。
This isn't black, it's a kind of purple, isn't it?
Chris was also a teacher. I think he was an English teacher though. Like ESL is like what you call it? ESL English as a second language? I could be wrong. I'm not sure.
Still, you're right, I do wear black shirts like 90% of the time. And the reason is, it makes me look thinner, and I like to look thinner. That said, I did buy a pink shirt recently, so don't worry, I'm moving up in the world. The game has changed. Is there any point in being able to handwrite kanji? First off, it's a lot easier to memorize 2,200 characters if
どんぐらいわかるかな俺これ。現状、陸、県、陽、住、海、西、古、雑、南。意外とわかるわ。雪、雲、ゼロ、新、星、火、面。あ、全部わかるわ。Oh, I understand everything. Sorry. I mean, I know everything.
to write them.
Yeah, I know everything actually.
As well as read them. More importantly, if there's a word or character that you don't know or can't understand.
Do Japanese memorize all kanji? Not all of them, because like they are freaking like more than 10,000. Well, like 100,000 or something? You don't have to like know all of them, like it's pointless.
You can just get out your dictionary and draw it in, but to be able to do that, more often than not, you need to know the stroke order and how to actually write it. So it is very important. What are the best ways of learning Japanese for free?
I actually get this question on my channel too, so it's kind of hilarious. Like, so, yeah. I'm not really a Japanese teacher, right? And I don't really teach Japanese on my channel either, but I get this question. And so as a guy who never learned Japanese, I'm not really sure, but I've been saying this to everybody. Play VR chat! Play VR chat! Everybody, play VR chat! Jules, I know you don't learn Japanese and you are dizzy, but play VR chat, Jules. いや、答えは VR、本当にマジでそれです。Jules, play VR chat. Jules, play VR chat and just go up to people and be like, I'm American and I watched Attack on Titan. That VR chat is cringe. Why do you think it's cringy, by the way? I'm curious. I mean, it's cringy actually, for sure.
Free. Get a Japanese boyfriend. Or go. What are the best ways of learning Japanese for free? Get a Japanese boyfriend. Or girlfriend. I've already covered.
I see. But yeah, that's like the best way to like improve your Japanese like instantly. That's kind of what people say. when I was back in university, and yes, thank you, Chris wants you. Yeah, I'm gay. So, when I was back in university, I had this like conversation with like non-Japanese people who went to the same university as mine, right? They said like, oh, I don't want to talk about this, but the most effective way for me to learn Japanese was to get a Japanese girlfriend. And I was like, yeah, right. Everybody says that, so.
Covered this topic in detail in a past video. Be advised it is presented.
ご飯は食べた？ん？何？どういうこと？ご飯は食べたって言わなくね？
Friend. I've already covered this topic in detail in a past video.
はいはいはい。そういうことね。
Be
As for meal. なるほど。ご飯は食べましたよっていう。I see. I was like, well, that's grammatically wrong, but I get it now. 映画は全部見た。いや、映画はねっていうね。いや、I get it. かな？これ違くない？ Wait, he's talking about past tense here, though. これ違くない？これ。Am I crazy? Like, what is this? これあれかな？だからそうご飯は食べましたかな？ご飯は食べた。English is wrong because like so I guess what he's trying to do here is like he's just trying to know what this word itself means maybe. Yeah, I don't get it, but let's just forget about it.
Presented by a hot dog. But if you can get past the disgusting exterior, it is nonetheless an insightful hot dog, so check that out. But there are quite a few videos on learning Japanese on this channel, and I've put them all into a nice convenient playlist just for you, and you can find them at the link here.
日本人しか知らないよねこれね。Do you guys know what this is? これ言っていいのかな？ Can I even talk about this? This is such a Japanese thing. Wait, does Chris even know like what he just did?
Playlist just for you, and you can find them at the link here.
Does he know what he just did? It's not Kancho. No, it's not Kancho. It's not Kancho. No, it's something else. It's not Kancho. It's not Kancho. 日本人の人なら中学生の時やったことないですかこれ。いや、やっぱしてる。いや、somebody got it right. Somebody got it right. Yeah. It's not Kancho. It's not Kancho. Yeah. Some people got it right. I'm gonna just avoid talking about it. Yeah. こうやるやつ知らない？日本人は中学生の時やってないこれこうやってやってっつってもう一人がいいよっつってこうやって見てはあ見えたはあっつって Let me just avoid talking about this because I'm 12
Here. Actually, I can't be bothered to do that. A lot of people do that, don't they? Whoosh. And then...
This is just inappropriate to me. Like, I don't know.
Link comes up like there's some kind of
ダメだ Yeah, this is just damn.
Magic wizard, but
やめてもらえよ。本当にそれよ。もうなんかもうね文化的なものなのかなこれは。
Can't be bothered really. Just click on the card there. That'll save me like 10 minutes of putting that effect in. Do you think I can learn Japanese if I?
you can learn Japanese for sure.
Invest only 20 minutes a day. Definitely, 20 minutes a day for 300 years and you'll be a master of Japanese, and quite possibly dead. It depends on what stage you're at of learning Japanese. To give you an idea of how much time I put in the first year, I think I put in about 2 or 3 hours every day. And after 3 years of learning the language now, if I were to set aside 20 minutes a day to learn the language, I would probably be able to learn 20 new words or 3 items of grammar, because I'm accustomed to the language and its pronunciation and its grammar structure already. The key thing is laying down those solid foundations, which would be difficult to do on just 20 minutes a day. Or think of it like a puzzle. When you start a puzzle, it's a fucking nightmare to work out where to begin. But the more you progress, the quicker it becomes to put the pieces into place. Unfortunately, I lack a puzzle to help aid this visual metaphor, but I think you get the idea. When is the...
Yeah, I don't think 20 minutes is enough, right? My intro Japanese class is like 2 hours every day. That's way too long though, but yeah, I feel like you still have to like at least put like 15 minutes at least. Yeah, an hour maybe, but I don't know, some geniuses can probably learn Japanese in like freaking 3 minutes, so.
The best time to start learning kanji in your opinion? Right at the start, as soon as you've learned hiragana and katakana. Start to learn how to...
That's what we did back in when we were freaking in the first grade. That's what teachers freaking made us do.
Draw out the characters and what they mean. Don't worry about pronunciation just yet though, as that takes quite a long time to learn. I think it's better to learn them separate, although there is some debate on this. I've already made a video on this and I still stand by the technique that I described in the video. But if you're struggling with kanji, check it out, and hopefully if you learn the method and do it,
ちょっとキモいだがうちはギャルゲーから日本語を学んだ。まあキモいっていうか別に何でもいいと思うんですよ。ぶっちゃけ。I mean, it's not really cringy to like learn Japanese from like ギャルゲー. It's not cringy. I mean, I guess it might be cringy for like a lot of people out there, but for me, I don't care because like you learn the Japanese either way, right? What's more important is like, so I really want everybody to know about this, but what's more important, like what's really important is like what you do with your Japanese skills. Like, so your Japanese is fluent, but like what you do with it. Do you want to just talk to people and tell people how good your Japanese is and just go like, yeah, look at me speaking Japanese? Or do you want to actually just utilize it and just do something with it? So I've seen a lot of like Japanese learners freaking fighting other people and just talking about how their Japanese is better and this guy's Japanese is bad and whatever, which actual Japanese people never care about. We care about how chill you sound, how good you like are as a person, how well mannered you are as a person is what I mean. But so yeah, like yeah, if you just like try to be a good person, I don't really think we care about other stuff, like how you learn the Japanese and whatever. Because I know one person who learned the Japanese like through watching porn. I mean, he also did other stuff as well, but like this one person like legit watched Japanese porn at first and he memorized like all the phrases in the porn, right? Then he learned Japanese from it. So like I remember his first phrase, the first phrase he learned in Japanese was something like, なんだっけな? I don't even remember. 気持ちやめて, yeah, something like that, yeah. So as long as like you are chill in Japanese, like I don't really think we care about it. So I think it's cool. Every language learner deserves praise. Yeah, I mean, it's whatever. Like you can learn Japanese from like, you know, hentai, whatever. Like you might think it's cringy, but I don't really think Japanese people will think it's cringy.
You'll find learning kanji as pleasant as I have over the last few years.
Go fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself.
It's a long story, Sora. I'm curious.
Hey Chris, Akinator was able to guess your channel. Wow, that's pretty cool. If you're not familiar with Akinator, it's one of those websites where it guesses who...
I'm curious now. What am I? Characters, not animals. Not objects. Let's guess. Let's see if he knows through the troll. Is your character a ninja? You racist? No. Well, I do. Now you're gonna say it's me, bro? No, that's not fair. That's not fair. That's not alright, that's not fair. That's not fair. That's not fair. That's not fair. I know you're gonna say like, oh, it's you. Oh my gosh, you. Like, I get it. Like, if people think I'm gay, yeah, I get it. Yeah, I get it. I get it. I get it. Probably. I don't know. No. 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 I'm not American. What the I mean, I know. Okay. You win. I'm gonna just act like it's not me. I'm gonna act like it's not me, really. It's not me, but sort of that's real. Let's see. Yes, real person. It's not me, it's not me, it's not me. Is it okay? No. Yes. No, I'm not a squeaker. No, I'm not a squeaker. Sometimes. Close. Probably. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, I get it. Everybody thinks he's American for some reason, but no. Asian, yeah, true that. Yeah. Close. Oh, nice. What do you mean useful? What the hell is this question? Useful? What does this even mean?あるフレーズやめてをずっと言ったそうです。変態的な意味、まあやめてなんてね変な意味しか聞こえないですからね。Does your character wear a blue dress? No. Is your character linked with PlayStation? No. I didn't even say the character's even from like America though. What the? Probably. No. Not funny. No. Probably? Right, Asian. So, Asian. Same thing. He thought. Boy band, no. Yeah? Red eyes, no. Black, no. Sometimes. I'm not angry. Nail fetish. I mean, right, I was doing this, but that doesn't mean. And as thank you, you need to put yes for funny videos. Blonde, no. What the hell is this? Yeah? No. Why does this guy freaking just avoid talking about Japan or like Japanese? Just say like it's the character from Japan. Dude. Does he think I'm thinking about some like a drug drug dealer or something? Maybe. Oh yeah. Finally! Yeah, finally he's gonna say Suradachiro, maybe. Yeah, I mean he's not, yeah. Finally! Japan, you literally just said Japan. Yeah, I mean Asian, not Asian, but fine. What the fuck is this? Can I just change the picture? Okay, can I just... People have been searching. You guys have been playing this. $798 times. Wait, can I find Barney the dinosaur with this? Let's just go for Barney the dinosaur. Ready? Barney the dinosaur is not a YouTuber. No. He is bald. Fight? Does he fight? Does Barney the dinosaur fight? No, right? Is it anime? What is it supposed to be? Not anime. Like, what the hell was I even thinking about? Right. He's a flasher. God damn it. I didn't know Barney was freaking that perverted. God damn. Really? Well, let me search Barney the dinosaur. God damn, he's naked. Kinda scary, yeah. But no, right. Is he supposed to be an animal? Like, what is he? Yes. Walk on 4 legs? He's never done that, right? That would be really scary. No. Berserk. Does he ever do that? No, right? Yeah, that would be freaking scary. Some kind of a bird. I don't want to think so. Blue. Purple. Speak, yes. No. No. Now this is crazy. Like, are we talking about Barney the dinosaur, as in like Barney the dinosaur, or like are we talking about the person inside of it? He has no clothes on, but at the same time, like, no. Beanie. Barney and dinosaur. Yeah, purple. Purple. I don't know what that is. Purple. Hello, 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 hello. Hello. I love you, you love me, we and. Purple. What the What the What the No! You perv! No! You perv! I defeated him, though I kinda cheated. Jig is up. Your fuss has been shagged.
You're thinking about. I think it answers like 50 questions and it can guess who it is. It took a long time, but I guess the most helpful answer I gave was yes to, is your character chubby?
Yes, thank you. Anpanman next. Anpanman? Anpanman?アンパンマンどうしてバーニーがそんなに気になるんですか？なぜだろう？アンパンマン is パン。He's made of bread. Who's Anpanman? It's so there's like this child like show for children. And yeah, this character is like freaking famous here. Japanese. Does your character have red dark hair? He is freaking bold. A guy? That means Anpanman has a pee-pee. I didn't even think about it, but damn. Special powers, he flies, yes. No. 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 Yeah, yes. Superhero. Is he a superhero? Wearing a red jacket. Yeah, red jacket. Yeah, that's not a red jacket. Oh, close. Nope. Nope. No. No. Anpanman equivalent Bonnie the dinosaur. Red nose, maybe?
Brilliant.
Go fuck yourself.
Go fuck yourself.
How did you learn Japanese after arriving there? I focused on lots of different aspects of Japanese every day, and because I'm a very visual person, I've drawn it out for vocabulary. In grammar, I used Genki 1 and Genki 2, the textbooks. They're really good, I recommend them. For kanji, I used remembering the kanji. For memorization and reviewing, which is really important if you want to remember the things you've learned, I used Memrise and Anki. And for listening and speaking, I had various friends and colleagues to practice with, as well as the tutor to ask questions to. On top of that, I got hooked to a TV show called Kekkon Dekinai Otoko, or The Guy Who Can't Get Married. It's a sitcom about a grumpy guy who lives alone, doesn't want to get married, doesn't really like people, and yeah, it's really, really hilarious, particularly as I can relate to the character. So yeah, highly recommend it. After studying Japanese for about 4 to 5 months, I'm starting to slack off in my studying. How can I be more motivated? Make some Japanese...
Watch anime! And watch VTubers talk about Attack on Titan, play VR chat, go up to random Japanese people and go like, oh my gosh, Attack on Titan, you know this show called Attack on Titan?
Friends, get hooked to a Japanese anime or TV show, fall in love with someone who's Japanese. Use gamification and try to set targets you have to hit every day.
What's rather true? I honestly doubt watching my channel is like great for anything. Like any educational purposes, like my channel is like freaking one of the worst ever.
Like learning 100 words.
So it's not like me being humble or anything, but like my channel is like literally a waste of your time probably for like from like any perspectives. So it's not educational, it's like purely just a waste of time, so like it's not worth it.
Why you really need Japanese. Is it to start a business? Is it to move to Japan? But get a big A3 sheet of paper, write out your vision or dream on that.
いや下ネタもね、ぶっちゃけもっとね、いい人いるんすよ。Like even if like if you wanted to learn some dirty stuff in Japanese and whatever, I don't really think my channel is even worth it. It's like literally, if you want to waste your time, then my channel is like probably the best, yeah.
Of your desk and focus on it every day, as I tend to do, and you'll find your life tends to gravitate towards that aim as time goes by. But do all those things and you'll prevail. Good luck. I feel like when I'm conversing in Japanese, I seem like quite a boring person. Yeah, I had that. I do find it...
Do you guys ever feel like that though, by the way? Haven't you said Manko though? Still.
I do find it difficult to be myself when speaking Japanese. It's like my personality has to shift gears. First off, that's because I lack so much Japanese still. Lots of idioms and colloquial expressions that I still don't know hold me back from expressing myself fully in Japanese.
I think I'm boring. I see. That's quite interesting.
Second reason is Japanese has lots of fixed expressions though. The whole language seems to revolve around showing appreciation towards things. So when people have their first sip of beer, they'll say, oh, oishii or umai. And when there's something beautiful or pretty before someone, they'll say, oh, sugoi, subarashi, it's incredible, it's amazing. This is not an understatement, you'll hear this quite a lot, and anyone that's lived in Japan will know I'm not exaggerating.
Thank you, Rebecca White. Say, Sora, have you heard of this cool anime called Attack on Titan? You probably haven't. You probably haven't heard of it, but I think you'd really like... Oh my gosh, like, really? Is it the anime like where Levi Senpai is like being cool and being like konometsu, but oh my gosh, like really?
Rebecca White, can you be friends with me? Do you watch Attack on Titan? Levi Senpai, oh my gosh, like, Levi Senpai, yeah, AOD,
Did you just say Mesubita? That's what Levi Senpai says.
You've never watched Attack on Titan? Oh my gosh, you've never watched Attack on Titan? Oh my gosh, like you have to watch it like Levi Ackerman, yeah. And like in Japanese we say Levi Ackerman. Oh my gosh, my Japanese is so good.
難しい言葉を使いたくて使おうとしてもいざという時頭が真っ白になってしまう。難しい言葉を使うと逆にめんどくさがられること多いのでやめといた方がいいかもしれませんね。っていうことは自分の経験上のお話ですが、難しい言葉を使うと、大体のケースで、あ、こいつ頑張ってると思われてちょっと恥ずかしくなってしまうことが多い気がするので、簡単な言葉で分かりやすく伝えるのが重要な気はしますよ、僕は。And as thank you, SDFU cringe. Yeah, I will try not to talk about Attack on Titan.
But I'd like to point out, I'm not against it. I like the way.
そう、これね、これについては多分日本語でも英語でもどの言葉でも同じなんですけど、その難しい言葉を使いたいってのは分かるんですが、その使うことによって相手が理解できなかった時に、あ、ちょっとこれいらなかったなっていう状況になるんですよね。そういう間を消すためにも、まああんまりいらない情報を出すべきではなくて、必要最低限のね言い方で必要最低限のことを言えればいいかなと僕は思います。まあ難しい言葉をたくさん使うのは悪いことじゃないですけどね。でもまあその方がコミュニケーションは簡単にできると思います。
Japanese people show appreciation towards everyday situations and objects and things, but to me I struggle to do it because it seems quite superficial. I find it difficult to point at things and go, oh, it's brilliant, oh, it's amazing, oh, it's delicious. I can't do it. It's especially difficult if you're a grumpy, sarcastic British person who spends most of their time whinging about the weather. But I have found as time has gone by that this problem has become less of an issue, and hopefully you'll find the same the more you study. And that brings us to the end of the video. I hope you've found something of use in the last few minutes. There's been enough tools and resources in this video to sink a small...
I want to be Chris Broad. I want to be him. Yeah, I want to be him. 言葉を会話するためにあるもんよね。そう。だからよくツイッターとかでも言いますけど、これどの言語でもいるんですけどね。自分英語と日本語でどっちでも見たことあるんで、ああなるほどなってなるんですけど、その、難しいことを書いてね、多分僕頭いいって見せたいんでしょうね。でもそれを見て他人の人が思うのは、あ、そういう風に見せたいんだなっていうのが見れるから、それを見ておすごいとはならずに、あ、こいつ頑張ってんなって思われちゃうだけなんですよ。その発言は必要なのかって考えたときに、僕すごいぞって見せるためのものだったら他人は気づくんですよね、それを。だからそういう感じのものだったら言わない方が多分、うわこいつやってんなって思われない。そう自己満足になっちゃうから。だったらみんなが分かりやすい方法で言った方がいいんじゃないのかなとひろゆきさんも言ってました。やっぱりそれはこれ本当ずっと前から思ってて、その難しい言葉を使えばね、頭いいって思われるんだろうけども、でも他人はそれを聞いた時に、ああそう思われたいんだなっていうのがすごい見えるので、その言葉が本当に必要だったりするケースだったらあれなんですけど、たまになんかそれの表現はそうする必要あるのかって人いるじゃないですか。なんか例えばそのなんだっけ早く労働を終えることをファイヤーって言うらしいんですよ。ファイヤーについてどう思いますかとかいきなり言ってくる人とかっているんですけど、そんなの言うんだったら早く仕事を辞める人についてどう思いますかみたいな言えばいいんじゃないかなと思ってしまうところはね、私はございます。まあ他人がどう思うかはまた変わると思うので、ただ自分から見るとそう見えますよっていうことでございます。ファイヤーってあれなんでしたっけ？仕事を早く辞めてニートになる人のことをファイヤーって言うんですよね。FIRE って書いて、確かちょっと違うかもしれない。 そう、情報、いや、でも情報商材屋っていうか、いるんですよ、そのなんか一般の人で、ちょうどそのひろゆきさんの方にも質問してたんですよね。ファイヤーについてどう思いますかつって。で、そのやっぱひろゆきさんも、ファイヤー何を言ってるんですかつって。で、その人がまた質問をまたして、ファイヤーは何々のことですって言って、で、ひろゆきさんが、その質問を2回するんだったら一発目に言えば、その時間は解決できましたよねって言って。その時間の無駄は大して有効ではないと思いますよみたいな言ってて、まあそうだよなと自分も思ったんで。だから、だったならば、そう、一発でみんなが分かるように言った方がいいかなと思って。例えば、ドナルド・トランプとかって、まあいろいろ賛否両論ですけど、あの人もスピーチするときって小学生でも分かるような言葉しか使わないんですって。だから、みんなが分かるような言葉で言うからみんなに理解されやすいという感じらしいです。自分もそうは気をつけるようにしてますね。喋るときは小学生でも分かるように喋るようにしてる。どの言語でも。そうするとみんな理解してくれるし、なんなら、理解されやすいし、そう、簡単に進むことが多いですね。っていうのが、Yeah, so, depends on your audience. Either way, using like some unnecessarily like difficult words is never really good, especially when you are talking. When you're writing, that might be a different thing, but I mean, So I was talking about how hot Chris is. Yeah, he's really hot. Just look at his lips, like here. His lips are really hot, and look at his fingers. I feel like somebody's gonna clip in. Actually, I think like I'm gay for him. Anyways, I think I've been streaming for like 3 hours, so I'm gonna get off now. And yeah, suddenly gay. I mean, somebody just like started talking about how hot Chris is, so I was like, look, there's Dogen. Really? Okay, I'm gonna try to read everything and I'm gonna get off now. お疲れ様でした。いや、なんか本当にこの後何しようかな。Do you have a gayful? I don't know what gayful is, but I'm gonna say yes. Let's see. I kind of want to just like do something really different. あ、こちらこそありがとうございました。Maybe the food in Japan's that good, maybe? I want to think. Thank you, so I realized he's gay for Chris. Thank you. Let's see. I know about it, I've never seen it though. I don't really watch anime, so. Showa Figure Designer, thank you. お疲れ様でした。こちらこそ。コーラがぬるくないか気になって仕方ない。いや、全然それっぽい感じ。I'm Japanese. I'm Japanese. Like, I sometimes have to just remind you guys that I'm Japanese. いや、コラボ以外日本人の YouTuber から来たこと一回もないですね。I really have to remind you guys that I'm Japanese. Like, I thought it's been obvious, but like again, I'm Japanese. Not today, no. そうね。日本にずっと住んでてアメリカに行ったことは本当にないのに。あ、いや、あの人たちは多分インドネシアを今開拓してて、次にアメリカ行きたいんですよ。で、自分って世界でバズってる人ではないので、戦略としてはその国の中でバズってる人のところ行きたいんで、自分ってちょっと日本人で日本の中でやってるから、多分戦略的には自分は多分合ってないはずですね、彼らのそのビジネス的な面で見るんですよ。っていう風に多分自分ならするんで、もし自分を他人だとしてじゃあこの国で広めたいってなった時に俺に行くかって多分自分は行かないです。中途半端的な存在すぎて、もっとじゃあアメリカで広めたいってなったらアメリカの人に有名っていうチャンネルじゃないと。自分のはなんかほんとバラバラなんで、あんまり どうだろうなっていう。しかもそのアメリカの中でも日本が好きって限定されてるものだから、多分彼らが求めてるのは違うはず。Polish Native American. Is it really a thing? So at this point it's a meme now, but like it was hardcore before. Like some people legitimately thought I was like actually just, you know, American trying to be Japanese. Like it was a thing before, like 3 years ago. So I didn't show my face before, right, on my channel, and people like, this guy's probably pretending to be Japanese, and he's not even like Japanese. His Japanese is bad, and he has an accent speaking Japanese, and I was like, dude, and I showed my face, right, and the video is called something like, I'm not a weeb or something. That was my first video, like where I showed my face. Then people went like, what the fuck? So that was a while ago. Okay, so I'm gonna get off now. Thank you so much for coming to the stream. I'm gonna stream like next week. That's how good your English is. The thing about it is like, it's not really like how fluent I am in like whatever languages. It was more like the mindset of like how Japanese people don't speak any languages like at all, kind of thing. So people legitimately believe that, right? But like if you look at Japanese people, like there are so many people who speak English like out there. So I'm not the only person. Like I mean, literally there are some Japanese people like on this channel just watching my stream right now too, which means they speak some sort of like English. So yeah, but back then, yeah, I mean, being on the internet as a Japanese person was not really a thing. Like especially when like they speak English there. So, but yeah, I'm gonna get off now and I'm gonna have a life, so thank you so much, and I'm gonna upload a cringy video tomorrow. Have a great day right now, everybody. What is this? デジモン好きな人いるかな？デジモンは海外だとめちゃくちゃ好きな人いるんで、ポケモンとか多分いますよ。What is this? That's why you never see Japanese people like speaking like fluent Japanese. Like, yeah, I mean, I tend to speak without thinking. So, but thank you so much. I'm gonna get off now. Bye bye.